It's time to get put on the spot. I used to work with this guy back in the day, and we would go to bars. He was like 70 years old, right? And we always called it air ukulele. Because, dude, when he got drunker, like there'd be some Sweet Child of Mine or something going on, he'd be like, up here, dog, dude, like tiny little guitar.
I'm not trying to one up you, dude, but back where I'm from, White Oak, excavating, there was a dude named Red Sinan, okay? Dude, Red Sinan, if you were working with him, he'd run a piece of equipment. And I used to haul heavy equipment, put silt fits in, all this stuff. Red, if AC/DC come on, he's like, hold the wheel, hold the wheel. He's driving, you got to reach over, hold the wheel. Doing all this. I'm like, bro, I'm a kid. He's like 40. I'm like, we're going to die. He had a bong, a PVC bong he had behind the seat of the work truck. This dude's driving down the road, ripping bong hits, and I'm some kid holding the steering wheel while he's jamming out the ACD playing the air guitar on a PVC bong. True story. Red Sinan, RIP, brother. Everybody in White Oak knows exactly who I'm talking about, and they know I'm telling the truth. Listen.
Low. I'm going to leave it.
Hold the wheel, Luke.
Let it go a little longer.
Hold the wheel.
Low budget live. Not so live, man. I don't know. Like I couldn't let Biloxi Blues play over that amazing
sorry, dude.
story, dude. That's so good. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Lowlifers one and all, this is the podcast for Monday, September the 25th. And I promised a wall-to-wall treetop tall guest in the Bar and Grill. And here he is, none other than one of my brothers in life, Fat Cat freaking Newton.
My man.
The Virginia traveler. He's driving all over the country all the time. He's on his way to the NPFL in beautiful Eufaula, Oklahoma. And then he's going to join me in Wisconsin in the studio. He said, dude, you are like halfway for me on my way to Oklahoma. And I said, well, we got to do a bar and grill pit stop. So here he is. We got to spend a day in the Express yesterday doing some fishing. And some
little sneak holes.
Yeah, some old sneak holes. Had a good time, and getting to show him around the hometown, man. The local gas stations, the Heine's barbecue. Shout out Heine's last night.
Yes,
put you
sir.
On some goods there. The fairs in town. You didn't want to be my fair date. That's fine. Yeah, no Middle Tennessee District Fair for you.
I'm good.
But it's I said this the first time we recorded this, things went awry, and it's just always good to have like your boy, because we talked about this last night. Most of, I'll say 90%, I don't want to offend any of my local brothers, but most of my friends don't live anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Like I don't hang out with, I've got a couple like close buddies around here, but like I hang out with my kids.
Right.
Like I do. And most of my dear friends in life live scattered around just from this crazy traveling circus life.
So I've got like in White Oak, I've got a good support group. I got a good group of people. I got some good old boys I used to run the roads with and raise hell. And they still, like, if I'm gone, they hold the fort down for me. So I'm solid on that. But they're my boys around the house, but like, we got boys on the road. So like my people around the house, they're content, right? They like White Oak. They're fine with that. Like, I'm ready to get out and go do.
You a gypsy.
Yeah, to a certain extent. And then plus, we're talking about fishing world stuff. We're talking about social media stuff. My boys around the house, if I start talking about analytics to YouTube or Instagram, they're like,
they're like, please shut up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shut up.
Shut up, dork. Yeah, we don't care about that. We've been working hard all day while you've been laying around.
You have nunchucks and Daisy Dukes something like that. You know what I'm saying?
My little brother, dude, God bless that boy. He's been working full time since he was 16. He is the hardest working dude I know. Next level plumbing. Don't settle. Call Next Level. He started his own company last year. But for the first couple of years, he wouldn't watch my videos. He was embarrassed.
For real?
Oh, dude, Big Brother.
Shout out Kale.
Yeah, man, Big Brother guts hung out and all that. Oh, it was.
He wouldn't watch.
Oh, dude, he was. Yeah, he was just embarrassed by it. But
did it make a turn though? To like,
oh, he embraced it now. Well, it was. He came to an expo a couple of years ago, and Timmy Horton was there, and then Timmy Horton was like, "Hey, your brother's this." My people at the house have no idea what goes on when I'm on the road. They have no idea what happens when we walk into the Bassmaster Classic.
You're gone, and you come back.
They know me as B around the house. Everybody that's watching now knows me as Fat Cat. Growing up around White Oak, this Fat Cat thing started in 2014. I got a GoPro, got crazy. I just decided to do something different, and just the name Fat Cat, it was something me and a friend that talked about opening up a tackle shop, Fat Cat's Tackle, right?
Okay.
And then I got crazy one day, decided to make a video, and it just local club I was fishing, they said some things, and it just evolved into whatever it is now. I'm still not sure. I was filling out a form the other day, and it said, "What is your occupation?" I just put a question mark. I don't even know what I do.
You said, if I know.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah, but it's wild, dude.
Like, I don't even know who I am most days.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Am I Fat Cat? Am I B? Am I Luke? Am I a low-lifer? Do I work at TH? What am I?
Yeah, I constantly do. My thing is just figuring out how to be happy in life these days, man. I just turned 45 the other day, and the main quest in life at this point, to find happiness and to make sure everybody around me is happy.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what I mean? And so like it's weird, like doing what we do. It's not
you make people happy. Like you say that though, right? And I'm around you so much. And in a professional setting, and then, behind the scenes. But dude, whether it's a fan at an expo, a kid coming up to you, an adult coming up to you, and that's cool because that's public.
That makes my day, dude.
Yeah, but I see you interact with like a waitress or a waiter, and like, dude,
don't say waitress. My girl might be waiter.
Come on, no, I mean,
well, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, dude, you do make people happy around. Like, it's hard to not be happy around you all the time. Like, I feel like that. Like, you are one of those people. It's just like you're a joy to be around most of the time. I mean, you're an asshole sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can definitely. That's the thing of how I'm built, dude. I am the nicest person, and then I can be the most. I don't have that gray area. Either I love you or I don't.
One way or the other, yeah.
Yeah, man. I truly am that way, and
but you're not. Because like with this show, I want to say divisive. You're not like people.
No. Yeah. No, I always, if I'm doing jokes, like I've messed with the kayak anglers and stuff like that, but I always try to
make jokes.
I've built this brand off of self-deprecation, I guess you would say. Like I always try to make more fun of myself than anybody else.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. But as far as being happy.
I mean, not easy. I mean,
I like making people happy because I know what it's like to be sad.
Yeah.
So like.
Is that a comedian thing though? Right? It
Dude,
is, right?
I guess in a way it is. It might be a comedian thing.
The highs are highs and lows are lows, right? I think that's entertainment to a certain extent.
It really could be, dude. But I don't want to bring anybody. I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I like making jokes. I like busting balls. I like thick-skinned friends.
Oh yeah,
because I can take it as
you better be around this cat too.
Yeah, well,
and me too. Like we
go
bust
hard. Chops, but we only do with people that we love. You hear that? But yeah, this whole Fat Cat thing is evolved into something I never thought it would. Like, and now like I don't even. People miss the old content of me with the guts hanging out, and I'm down. I lost 230 pounds. Like right now, I float between 255. I float between.
Dude, that's incredible.
I was almost 500 pounds. Like the last time I saw the scales at the end of 2019, I was 485 pounds. Right now, I'm probably about 270. I got down to 255. But like, so I fluctuate from 255 to 270. I'm probably walking around at 270 now. But like it's all just been on a quest of to be happy and figure out the quality of life. And you learn, especially like I said, I just turned 45. It's not all about going out and accomplishing. I don't need $10 million. I just need to be happy, the people around me to be happy, and then everybody that I come in contact with, whether it's companies we deal with in the business, things of that nature. It's just about, I don't know, man. I don't want to carry around negative energy.
Well, and I think that because the Fat Cat character, like before I ever met you, I knew the videos that everybody knew, the viral videos.
They were obnoxious, and a lot of people.
But no, I thought they were fun. No, I thought they were funny. But no, I could see that where people wouldn't take you serious, right? Because you're, like you said, you got the guts hanging out, and you're doing the deal, the viral video clips. But then, like, I'll never forget the first time, like walking up to you, like, "What's up, man?" Like you checked out what I did. I knew you, and we like met at a classic or iCast or something the first time. I think it was a classic. Yep. And I was like, this dude is just real as they come. Like we sat there and BS for a while. But I think that maybe what fans don't even realize is how much, because I know these stories and you've told them on here, I think, and you've told them in life. But how much of a dang fishing fan, dude, you've been for a long time. Like old school Bassmasters, old school FLWs, coming to the Potomac River, but just your history of like you do love it. Like you love it to your bones, dude.
Dude, I can get emotional It's so weird. I don't even know why I'm getting like this right now. But like when it comes to fishing,
if you make me cry,
weird.
if you make me cry on this podcast, dude.
No.
I love
the thing with fishing for me is that growing up, things were crazy in my house.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
And the only time things were good is when we went fishing.
Yeah, man. I feel that big time. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's in professional bass fishing. I never really got into that until probably like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I always kind of was into it, but my boy Mello Yella, shout out to Mello Yella.
Mello Phil.
Lake
Yeah.
Anna, he owns Lake Anna right now.
Yeah.
Him and PJ.
Shout out Phil.
But he's the one that really steered me and taught me a lot about professional fishing and who everybody was.
You guys went to the Classic together.
Yeah, man. So Phil Wilcox, Mello Yella, he and I have been to every Classic since I think 2000. We've missed 2 or 3 since 2004. But yeah, dude, but as far as fishing goes, like it's a lot of us use it for therapy, for other things. But yeah, and then getting to the world of professional bass fishing, dude, Jesus Christ. The camaraderie, the brotherhood,
the whole
companionship,
industry.
the whole industry. Dude, we have like what's going on now with the whole forward facing sonar. Dude, I couldn't care less. Far as I think, everybody's professional bass fishing limited to one. Then everybody, you got guys that are getting the more higher powered ones. But this whole thing going on, I mean, controversy is what stimulates social media and things of that nature, right? But
more comments, more.
Yeah, dude, I just don't like, I don't want to, and I do make jokes. I'll make memes. As far as embracing the negativity, it's kind of like making jokes of it because we do have to rectify the situation, kind of figure something out. But as far as banning it, I don't know. Like I'm on both sides of the fence. If you guys want to create trails for that, I guess what I'm just trying to get at is just I just don't like the negativity. I'm not into, I don't.
Polarizing kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it doesn't, here's the deal. It does not help our sport. It's not helping our sport. It's not, it's really not helping from the outside looking in. It just.
Well, I also think for me, like everybody says, grow the sport, which Ronnie Moore on here last week, shout out Saltwater Ron, said he hates the term grow the sport. And I don't disagree with him because it is not growing, I think, to a certain extent. We'll get to that maybe. But I think that it seems from the outside like it's growing.
Dude, hey, somebody better do something because if we're doing this narrative of all these high school anglers, all these college anglers, and we're saying go fish high school, go fish college,
you can be a pro. Yeah.
Well, then hey, so the sport better grow to accommodate all of these anglers. We're selling that to them.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be gold at the end of the road if we're telling them to go this way. So we kind of have to embrace growth.
Well, that's where MPFL came in, right? Like our employee,
Exactly.
like it created another avenue for people to have a high level of competition for big money kind of thing, because at the end of the day, there's so damn many. And not everybody needs to be a pro. Like I would agree there needs to be, as far as at the top cream of the, cream of the crop top, there needs to be about 50 to 80 dudes from all the, like one thing. Like if you're a pro fisherman, you can go to a non-endemic sponsor and say, yeah, it's like IndyCar or NASCAR. Yeah, this is what I fish. And if you fish anything else, that's like how you get to point A. We'll never be there because it'll never get there. No. I hope I have to eat those words, but
our sport is very unique, man. We try to compare our sport to other professional sports, but we are probably one of the only sports that is at the mercy of the public. So we fish everywhere. We fish on public water, and we don't have any say so on who can fish what, far as the public.
Yeah,
so that's one variable, and then at the end of the day, man, like
the other variables, we pay for it.
Yeah, man,
entry fees and whatnot.
And what we're talking about now is the forward-facing situation. And Jordan Lee spoke on this, talking about that's a huge contributor to professional bass fishing. As far as monetizing,
yeah, 1,000,000%.
Huge, yeah. Multiple huge companies are involved in helping things. So you kind of be smart as that. I don't know, man. We have to figure out a way to. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. It's just when I hear forward facing sonar on a podcast, I'm next or anywhere. Like, I'm just over that whole situation. Yeah. But there has to be some sort of resolution. That way we can move on.
I showed you a little bit of that forward facing sonar yesterday.
Yeah, don't be honest. I'm gonna be. This might hurt. I couldn't care less. And the reason I couldn't care less is because I fish in the Potomac, and then when I see that screen, you're like, hey, there's one. It's just
It's like Atari to you.
Yeah, dude,
you're like,
I think it's cool. I think it's great. But like I'm my forte, and I think that's what goes on. A lot of these guys, couldn't care less about it because they don't plan on using it. I don't know.
Not relatable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I say about the smallmouth tournaments. If you're a dude that lives in Florida and you never care to ever go catch a smallmouth.
Virginia, couldn't care less.
Yeah, then you don't want to watch a smallmouth tournament. But that was the same 10 years ago as it is now.
Correct.
To me, if you're a dude and I'm not picking on Florida, even though y'all beat my Tennessee Vols, so I should pick on you. But even if you are a guy that never plans on fishing for smallmouth, I still like watching the tournaments now. We said this last week with forward facing. It's just like 5-pounder, like they're catching.
Yeah, they can catch.
It's a catch fest. So watching it is less boring. And we don't have to get into all that again.
We're not. To piggyback off of what you said, though,
it's got to be relatable.
I was growing up watching. I was always watching hunting shows, fishing shows. Okay, so if I was watching Michael Waddell, Real Tree Road Trips, and they were hunting whitetail, I'm watching. If he was going on an elk hunt,
you didn't want. Yeah, we've talked about this. Like saltwater.
And saltwater.
Like when Bill Dance, when I was a kid, he would mix in some saltwater stuff before he had the actual saltwater show. I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
And that was the same thing for me in smallmouth fishing. And a lot of us Southern boys are things that really don't.
Now I will say, after I got older, and I started getting to go saltwater fishing some because I never got to as a kid, obviously. And then I started traveling around. And I met folks that did it. Then I'm like, ooh, well, I do want to watch that guy go snook fishing because I've done that. And I relate to him like, oh my God, he caught a blah, blah, blah snook. That's badass. Like I get it after doing it. So
Dude, I'm that guy when I go saltwater fishing, or even like we go down to Avon, North Carolina and fish the Sound, I have to Google every fish we catch.
Yeah, I get that.
I really like it. But I think that kind of is a underlying situation that helps guys not like forward facing sonar. Anyways, dude, I don't even want to talk about forward facing sonar anymore. I mean,
when I say not relatable, you can make the argument then, then the Tennessee River is not relatable to people because they don't want to. And again, a lot of people complain about ledge fishing tournaments too because it doesn't go on where they live. They don't care. Yep. You and I've commentated a couple of those events together, and you're like, this makes no like I don't. This doesn't happen where I'm from. Right. So explain. You'll even say on live, like, explain like why he's doing what he's doing because that's not familiar to me, and it's what I grew up doing.
I've never fished a ledge in my life.
It's like second nature. Going, he's got his boat here, and there's a reason he's throwing this because he's trying to fire them up to do because they're set up like this. But if you've never done it or you're never going to do it, you damn sure don't care to learn. But if I take you and show you, and you live in Florida, and I'm in a St. John's River tournament, busting them on something cool you've never seen, some bait, like you're gonna be glued to that. Like, ooh, we got to buy some of them little crickets.
Well, I mean, we talked a lot the fart facing sonar. Y'all boys throwing them tongue skin weight and that Florida carbon line. Now y'all got that fart facing sonar. But I have heard guys tell me about like on the Potomac how it has become a tool. Fishing the grass lines and different things and all. Anyways, dude, but yeah. I'll be glad when that whole thing's over with and they can kind of figure that out.
It's not going to be over from a standpoint of people not bitching about it because they're not going to ban it. Look at me when I tell you this. Listen to me. They're not going to ban it.
But they will put regulations on it more than likely.
But what is that? You can't have 9 transducers. You can only have one. Most of those guys, like Patrick Walters, who we see kick a lot of ass over his shoulder, you and I get to watch him. He's only got one.
Right.
Trent Palmer, he's only got one. Like we're going to see those guys do work at Eufaula and probably at Lake Lanier coming up, and like they got one.
Right.
They got 15. They got one. So now a guy like Taku has multiples, but he's got them on his transom for a reason. Like
Well, then you also hear talk. You don't hear much talk, but you also hear talk about the transducers that some of the guys are using. A lot of guys don't have access to those. So if your transducer's hitting 100 foot, everybody's hitting 100 foot. Then you have certain guys that have transducers that are hitting 600 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
No, I know. They're wheeled. It's like NASCAR. They'll. Right. I think if
your motor can only be 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
Your boat
if they can find a way to limit it, they'll limit it. Gerald actually had Gerald, grumpy old man Swindle. Get off my lawn. That's what I joke with him all the time. Love my boy G. He and I were on the phone one day, and he hasn't made a video about this, and I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, 'cause I thought it was really interesting. He said he had actually talked to Bass, and one of his pitches was you only get it for certain events.
Oh, gosh.
Now, this would get crazy and it'd be hard to police, right? But hear me out. This is one of G's, like, wild ideas, but I did like this just from a strategy.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we got 8 events. You got to pick right now, first of the season, Luke Duncan.
Gosh.
Which 4 you get to have forward-facing sonar for. And that's it. So you write down, okay. Because some tournament trails do this, like if you get a sub, right? Like so you can't, you're the local hammer on the Potomac River. I'm fishing a tournament trail from down here that goes up there for my championship. And I can't go, I got a substitute old fat cat's going to be in the boat.
Right.
Bull crap. No, he's not. You got to submit who you're going to fish with all year at the first of the year if your partner should not be able to fish, right? Alabama Bass Trail does that. A lot of trails do that. Shout out Kay with ABT. But all right, you write it down right here, man. You own the congrats. You made the Elite Series. You can only use this for 4 tournaments. So you're looking at the schedule like sweat running down your face. Like, I think that's A, hilarious, and B, adds now how you would explain that to a live viewer or whatever. Why's this guy got it? Because that'd be the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Why's this guy got it and this guy don't? I don't get it. It'd be hard to explain, but I do think, and that's really out there, outside the box, but I think it's amazing. And then you sit down and go, oh, shit. So we're going to St. John's River. Okay. I think I'm comfortable with not having it there. And then you get there and there's one dude that left it and he kicks your ass. Like it's that's what you would run into with that. It's the haves and have-nots at that point. But I don't know. They've got to find a sensible way to kind of find common ground. Ronnie Moore talked about it on here last week, and you and I have been in meetings, and I've said this on here about, hey guys, how are we going to make this more watchable? Because maybe this week at Eufaula, Oklahoma, temperatures have been a little cooler at night. Maybe we get a little bit of a shallow water fall derb. We saw that with the Watts Bar Bassmaster Open. It was more of a traditional. They're going down the bank. We're seeing that. Lake of the Ozarks, as we're recording, Bassmaster Open's going on. More traditional, not a lot of forward-facing for the most part going on after day one, seems like. So Eufaula could be a mix. They're standing timber. The Open was dominated by forward-facing sonar earlier this summer. I still think it'll be a major player for some guys, but it could be a ripping down the bank, throwing a buzz bait, flipping a jig kind of thing too. I don't know. We'll find out. TNPFL.com.
That's right.
Tune in. But our last event is on Lake Lanier.
Oh, this could be dynamite.
And it's going to be all forward-facing for the most part. Some top water, actually,
yep.
But we have been talking, what can we do as an organization? And to be fair, we've talked about this since, Brad Fuller and I, especially in the very beginning, like, have talked about ways, like, how do we, from some of our earlier tournaments we're one with it, like, how do we show this to the viewer better than we are? And they've had some great ideas, but it's hard to execute them. Ronnie said that, and they got a way bigger budget than we do. And Ronnie's like, dude, he said it on the show. He's like, it's hard. Like, yeah, we're not ignoring you. We're hearing the fan. We know what you are saying, but dang it. Like, it's really hard to do. We've had some camera guy. Remember, I think we talked about this on a conference call with MPFL the other day. Pug Clements, shout out to Pug. We hadn't seen Pug this year. Square Table podcast. I remember on Pickwick, our inaugural year, our camera guy was right on top of his live scope filming him. Yeah. He's down at Bay Springs. Dude, you watching the fish get his bait, and it was amazing. Amazing coverage. And I think that might draw more people in, but then do you get to a situation where it's like, then all you're watching is a screen that they're staring at? I don't know, man. I think people are going to complain regardless. So it's just a really tricky situation, but the coverage, from what I saw in the comments in the last couple, because me and Atkins have talked about it, me and Ronnie talked about it, Austin Felix and I talked about it. The comments are more, yes, you do get the guys like, I gotta do away with it because it's terrible. You do get those guys, but most of it is, yeah, it just sucks to watch. Sucks to watch. They're not engaging with the camera as much as they used to. And I think the anglers do have to do a better job of explaining what's going on, just like they would if they're, these bushes, this one's sticks out a little further, like they used to.
Right.
Most dudes that know, hey, there's a camera over my shoulder, I got to do my job to educate the fans. Some guys are just tight-lipped and quiet and just waiting to set the hook. But I think the anglers got to do a better job too. And we see it, dude. You and I, it's what Ronnie goes, you think I like it? I watch hours of it. Dude. It's freaking boring. You and I watch all of the cameras. We're the Wizard of Oz. And dude, I mean, it's boring.
Like this conversation is boring. Like I'm done talking about it now because it's a dead horse, dude. It's a dead, like you said, it'll get rectified somehow, some way, shape, or form. You're not gonna make everybody happy, but life will go on. We'll keep.
I guess my point though.
Please make a point. God Almighty, man. Jeez, we're just dragging this out. Son.
You and I watch fishing for hours on live coverage, and watching fishing is boring. When there's nothing going on.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Like you and I, dude, we have days and that's
we all know that if you go fishing for 8 hours a day, you're not going to, it's just one of those
20 minutes of windows where things happen spread out across an 8-hour day. Because you and I have had some long days in the studio.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We have.
We've had some long days where you should have been fired. But or you should have been fired probably. But just for things that you said,
dude. I want to talk about one thing before we get too far into this. I
got to thank the sponsors real quick. Yeah, we're like deep into this.
Do something.
Let's.
Jeez, bro. Let's go, man. Talking me to death about forward-facing sonar.
I hate you so.
Everybody out there is like, shut up.
No, they're not. I guarantee you they are. All right, good. An intriguing story. Startron, right there. Get. Put it in here.
I just chug
I'm about
to drink it because if I had to hear about forward-facing sonar one more time, I'm going to find a high bridge on low tide.
You got my tractor cranked, right?
Yeah.
By saying, well, I just really don't want to talk about it, and then I just talked about it for 15 minutes.
It's what being friends with Luke Duncan is like. This dude has not shut up since I got here. So I thought we were doing a podcast. We've done the podcast 15 times, just not in front of a camera.
Well, you know what? Then I picked a great occupation.
You did? Oh, right? Buddy. No, talking. You definitely got that down pat. Ain't no doubt about that.
You act like you're fucking... Beep! Where was that at? Because I got to edit that.
You got to edit that out, but that's a hard one.
I'm sending that one. Screw it.
That's a hard one.
That was at the 20-something minute.
Oh, boy.
I think that's my first F-bomb on LBL before in a sponsor.
You've been watching too much Shane Gillis. Perfect. Oh God, this will be the.
I think it's far enough. I think it's far enough in that YouTube won't kick.
It's far enough in where everybody's already tuned out.
Oh my God! Sponsor reads right here. Start kicking ethanol in the teeth right here in your chainsaw, in your weed eater, in your log splitter. Right?
Yeah, hey, because your Honda 1987 Big Red.
Dude, I saw your video. That thing fired right up. You must have had some Startron.
Amazing piece of equipment. I did, matter of fact.
That video was amazing. Startron enzyme powered fuel treatment. When you're storing your boat this time of year, seasons are changing. If you have regular old gas in it, it's got at least 10% ethanol in it. I promise you, it will gum up the works. I've seen it happen multiple times. Put this in your tank. Let it be. Let the enzymes do their job. Startron kicking ethanol in the teeth. ProGuide Batteries, ProGuideBatteries.com is where you can let them know you're a low-lifer by using code LBL10. These guys are not a fly-by-night battery company. I know I say that a lot, but they have been in the industry for many, many, many years, calling on OEMs, getting that stamp of approval from the factory level, not just at the retail level, the factory level, and those folks run products through the ringer before they'll say, hey, this comes factory equipment on this boat. Like, that's what I do for a living, and that's not an easy seal of approval to get. They got into the lithium game a couple years ago, and I promise you they're some of the most affordable yet effective lithium batteries on the market. ProGuideBatteries.com. Baitworks.com, bait-works, WRX.com, bait-works. It's where you can find that LOB jig that has the LBL logo on the package. Comes in 7 colors. Custom Eagle Claw Trocar hook. Finer than frog hair skirt. But don't just go there and get LOB jigs. You can find all your tackle needs from rods, reels, line, tackle boxes, you name it. Topwater season's here. They got them toad thumper frogs. Get on there, bait-works.com, and Duncan, DUNKAN-10, saves you money. And last but not least, hang the imaginary banner. Express Boats, the Bassmaster Classic winning banner, the first ever aluminum boat to roll around with a classic trophy, all welded, 21 feet of fury, 96-inch beam, fastest hole shot in the game. Do you approve?
No doubt. I was super impressed. Yeah, dude, she hopped up on pad like that.
Like you said that yesterday. I say this on here a lot. I love taking people out in the Express that have never been in one
It's got to do with it has to do with the draft, right? Because it's not drafting, but so much of water, so you can just hop right up.
And it's but you and
I'm not just saying it because I'm saying, bro, that thing hops up.
It was right in the Giddy in the morning. We had a full tank of gas. Buddy. You and I in there, and it goes, boop. It doesn't matter the load. Like it always just jumps up.
I was impressed.
But I always say that fastest hole shot in the game. Somebody always comments, "Oh yeah." I'm like, yeah. Like I've been in a lot of different bass boats. It's quick, dude. It's quick. It's really fast. And you said we got in some choppy water. You're like, dude, this thing
rides good, man. I was
like, it's
not a wet ride, and we were hitting chop. It wasn't a wet ride at all. Like it's strong.
Fat Cat Newton for Express Boats right there. I'm going to talk to the marketing manager there, see if they'll send one to your house.
No, might want to. Yeah, I'll take it.
Send one to the house. C deck bow to stern. You like the C deck? You were talking about how it's got that extreme code in there, so it's a little
like for me up there at the house on the Potomac. You fish a lot of grass, and anybody that fishes around grass, you know your grass is not always green. Half the time it's full of dirt, mud, silt, and then when your boat,
I hate when my grass is full of dirt,
dude. Yeah, especially seeds. You got to worry about just keeping it clean, man. Where you're getting catfish, snakeheads, bass, whatever. That C deck is just way more convenient, way easier to keep clean than carpet. And we've seen heard of guys get their carpet dirty, go to the daggone car wash, hit it with the pressure washer, and tear up $2,000 worth of carpet real quick.
That happens a lot. And
got to worry about it with C deck.
I absolutely love the C deck, but 250 Yamaha show pushing that beast around. Stable ride. Express Boats. Building excitement since 1966 and bringing you Low Budget Live, where we have Fat Cat Newton in studio. Thank you for listening to all the sponsors. Dude,
Oliver Anthony. Why do you not like Oliver Anthony?
I do not.
You make fun of fudge rounds? Dude, everybody watching right now will come burn your house down. Oliver Anthony, he should have a shrine made for him, according to a lot of people. Let's talk about Oliver Anthony.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Do not dislike the guy at all. And I will say this.
Have you talked about this at all yet?
Have I? For real?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
My bad.
And like people,
I don't listen to this.
So people, I made a joke.
I remember that
you talking about the fudge rounds, and dude, I got ate up by some people. They're like, "What means more than that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I understand what it meant. Like, I get why it's important to you. Okay, like I get it." I thought that line was terrible. As a songwriter, I thought that line was terrible. I've written a lot of terrible lines, so I can say that.
How about I ain't got $1, but I don't need a dime?
He's good. No, dude. Here's the thing.
What do you think about him playing a dobro?
The resonator guitar. The dude is a cool cat.
Yeah.
I'll say this. He is also in like the fudge round line. I was like, that's dumb. This man is, I listened to him on Rogan. He is brilliant. He's very articulate. He is very, very, very sharp individual that's very aware of his surroundings and who he is. And it's really, for me, chasing music as long as I did, it's really cool to see somebody beat the machine.
There we go.
If that makes sense. I get why people are fans of what he's doing. And I like him. Right. I don't dislike that song. My joke the first week was like, "Hey, stop sending it to me," because so many people send it to you. Know, it's just like, dude, it's just viral. Like it just like people that I don't talk to about music, right? In my personal life are like, "I can't." Hey, dude, check this out, and I'm like, "Why are you? Oh my god, okay, yeah." But it was just so much in like a 24-hour period. Matter of fact, it was when Turnpike was at the Ryman in Nashville, and I was up there with Engelman and them, and I'm like, even asking him, who's in the music, like, "Dude, have you heard it?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, by God, by tomorrow you will." Yeah. Because I've had, and then the next day, we were up there 2 days, and he goes, "Dude, I've had so many." Like, my God, like,
so for me with him, like, I like that song. It's a good song, but
it's cool.
Actually, getting in his catalog, he has a lot.
Oh no, he's got some bangers.
He's got some nuggets.
But another cool thing about him, I listened to on Rogan. He's got an Android phone. And he had like posted videos on YouTube. He just decided like writing is therapy for him, whatever. Kind of like for you and I talk about that.
Yes.
And some of his biggest grossing songs are just he filmed a video. He ripped the audio from said YouTube video that he shot on his Android, and that's what's on iTunes.
Yeah.
And they're streaming like $40,000 worth a day. Like it's wild.
So when you listen to some of his songs, you can hear cicadas in the background and all that. Like, it is. But I bring that up because we talked about doing.
Yeah,
I think here's what I want to say. It shows the power of social media.
Gosh, does it ever?
It shows the power of social media, but I think that can't happen to just anybody. And what I mean by that is, learning how to capitalize on that, learn how to deal with that kind of fame. Because something
he's struggling.
I don't,
too, though. I keep up. No, I keep up with him on Facebook. Like he's struggling with the business of booking show. He's got an agent, and people get mad at him.
Who do you trust?
Because that's his thing. Yeah,
everybody's trying to get a piece of that pie. Like Cotton Eye Joe, that whole situation that happened
in Knoxville.
Not saying they did anything wrong, but just the miscommunication of the overpriced him having to cancel the show, and then having his buddy that was new. The whole dynamic of that. But I kind of wanted to talk about his overnight rise to fame,
man, and it was,
and then how to be able to deal with stuff like that. Like, everybody wants it until you get it. So, like right now, we live in a world of content creators, and everybody wants to be a content creator. Yep. Being a content creator is nice when everybody's patting you on the back and telling you good. But then when you try to be controversial, or not even when you try to be controversial, you just do something you think is nice,
or people deem it controversial, right? Or they disagree,
and then those comments turn on you, or certain people can turn on you. You have to be able to deal with that, and it's 99% of the time. I've dealt with some horrible stuff. You too. Dude, and it could take a toll on a man. April will be 10 years for me doing this social media thing. And it's kind of like why I put videos in the back seat, because I want to be happy. I want to make everybody happy, kind of like what he's doing. But like there are people that don't want you to be.
That's right.
It's nothing personal. You just have, a friend of mine told me something several years ago that's really helped me be a better person when it comes to confrontation. It's up to you how you let someone else's words affect you.
1,000,000%.
Okay. And we've talked about comments and social media. Anybody out there, you guys watching, you guys want to be a content creator, I say go for it and just post videos, but have thick skin and all that. But it doesn't always
chase those ghosts either, though.
Can't chase those ghosts.
Trolls. They go right back under the bridge.
You can't make them like you. And don't give them any gas. Don't give them ammunition. Always respond to those that are positive to you. Why are you going to take time and respond to someone negative when all these people are, good job, man, love the video, love this, love that. You're just liking them. But then the guy that says, you're stupid, no, then you reply to him.
A paragraph. And I still get caught up in it sometimes.
I do too. And I'm very good at not practicing what I preach. I can tell you how to be a millionaire, but I won't take my own advice. You know?
My thing with a negative comment is sometimes, especially with the podcast, what really irks me is I'll do an hour and a half of this a week.
Yeah.
Edit it, takes a lot of time, booking guests, doing whatever. And if somebody gets in the comments and say, well, you said this, and I'm like, dude, that's not what I said. Like no.
Sure.
Like I don't like me to misquote it. And that's when I'll really get on the keyboard heavy. Sometimes I was like, bro, you didn't even listen. Like you're making a comment based on a title of a YouTube video because you don't like me, but here you are, which is a bizarre phenomenon, let's just be honest.
Right.
Like if you're peeking, and I always joke, peeking through the blinds, like, I hate this bastard. See what he did this week. Like, why are you here, dude?
Like on Instagram, I don't know if you can do it for everything, but like on my Instagram, I can see who watches my stories.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing to me. It really is. So I have a lot of people that interact with me on all my posts, and then I'll go to my stories and I'll see who's watching. And the same people watch my stories, but they never interact with my post.
But they always there.
But I don't look at it negatively because I'm not a liker, commenter, or sharer on social media. I do try to engage with those that I feel compelled to, but I'm not compelled often to.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I see their crap every day, and I don't engage.
That's changed too for guys out there right now. We talk about this. If your numbers are going down, man, if you're not getting as many likes, you're not getting as many views, don't be discouraged because it's happening to everybody. It's across the platforms. There are a few people that are actually still going like this, but for the most part, dude, it's a struggle.
They have boobs.
Yeah, pretty much.
They wear thongs and they have boobs. Those are the interaction never changes. Like, man, you look good with that rod and reel. Because those comments never go away. No, people get baited into the thought bots, as I call them. They just walk right into that, baby. The thought bot. Look at her. She got a gun and wearing Daisy Dukes. I like that.
Where do you see? Too. I'm going all over the place. Where do you see Oliver Anthony in 2 years from now? Is he going to be sustainable? Is he going to hang around?
Dude, I think he is. I think it's sustainable. I do think it's sustainable. I think as long as going back to what you were saying about like the Knoxville situation, and everybody's like, I love this guy. He already pissed people off with that because they were like, I bought tickets and now you're canceling. Now I can't come. And so you're never going to make everybody happy. Again, like going back to the forward facing thing, that's just our world, right? No two people are alike. And so now he booked the Knoxville Civic Center, sold it out. But there was so much demand for tickets. He's like, well, I think it would be cooler to do this. There's a minor league baseball stadium up there outside of Sevierville, the Tennessee Smokies. He's like, let's do it at the baseball stadium, but let's do it 2 weeks later. So people and he's like, your tickets will be honored. But I even saw comments like, well, now I can't freaking come, man. I was coming because he can get more people for the same amount of money into the state. And he's trying to build a community because he knows people. Like he played in downtown Nashville earlier this week at Tootsie's. It was their birthday bash. And dude, Jamie freaking Johnson, who is the GOAT, period, in the story, is on stage with him. He loves him.
Yeah.
And
because he came to the first show after
dude. And Jamie's just like, if you look up the word cool, as cliche as this, it's that SOB right there. This is Jamie Johnson. Like, dude, he's just it, right? Like, dude, don't give a damn. Right. He is outlaw country. Like, he's the dude. But this cat's in downtown Nashville, Broadway, which is ran by the music industry and whatever. And he's up there, living in the new world. And everybody is just singing every word. Thousands of people on Broadway. And I was like, dude, I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for that, like that movement. And somebody, when I had Ryan Engelman on from Turnpike, we talked about, because he's in the music industry, I've talked to Cody Cannon about this a lot, and I think you have too, from Whiskey Myers. Used to, the prototypical formula was you had to like start playing bar gigs like I used to do. And then you move up the next peg, and then you move up the next peg on the ladder, and then you're opening for people, and then you do this, and then you hope and pray that all you're running around in the country in a little white Econoline van with all of your band packed up pulling your gear turns into a bus and this and that. And that's always how it's been. Well, a lot of musicians that do it for a living take exception to a guy like Oliver Anthony because like he didn't do anything. It's the same with Zach Bryan. He's a phenomenon. Zach's a phenomenon. Same deal. This year we'll sell out stadiums. He's going on a stadium tour. I'm not the biggest Zach Bryan fan in the world. I like some of his stuff. You and I talked about him. Like I dig a lot of it. It's a younger generation really pushing his stuff, but it was social media. So his story is amazing, but he skipped all that. So a lot of musicians are like, yeah, screw this dude. He goes from, he didn't put in 15 years, like Whiskey Meyer. He didn't put in 15 years. And you'll never hear a Cody Cannon say anything bad about any of these people. He thinks it's amazing, and it's like, screw the man, because the music industry turned its back on bands like Whiskey Myers and Turnpike, and they built what they have, which is amazing, the followings they have, with no support from cities like Nashville, LA, New York, whatever. And so on the Oliver Anthony thing, Zach Bryan thing, it's incredible. As a musician, a songwriter, dude, you telling me that a dude that sits around here and writes songs all the time, that I could throw something out there, and if it connects with the right amount of people, it's like something can happen.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Kind of gives everybody a hope.
No doubt. The everyman, right?
Absolutely.
And I love that. And I think that, like, tying it all back to fishing a little bit, I think that's why so many people get so passionate about pro fishing, because they all think they can do it. Right. To a certain extent, because you fish every Saturday, you fish in your bass club, or you just go fishing. And I think that's why, like the electronics debate or boats getting more expensive debate. And listen, I understand that it's getting more expensive. I work in the industry every day. I had somebody,
the world we live in right now.
Yeah. I had somebody insult me this week on social media because I made, I forget what it was. Like, I commented on something else about Four-Face, and somebody goes, well, he's just an industry dude. That's why he's for it. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, no, I'm not trying to shove them down your throat. I don't care if you ever buy.
I kind of get where they're coming from.
I get it, but I'm like,
if we are, even though we,
but I can't comment on it because I work in the industry. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I
get what you're saying, but typically when someone speaks from the industry, whatever they say is going to benefit the industry.
They think it's biased.
Sure, they do.
But me, I'm an anti-establishment dude on a lot of stuff, dude. Like, I'm not into the big corporate. Like, you and I have had a lot of off-air conversations I won't get into, but I hate corporate America. Yeah. Like, I hate what is happening inside of our industries with bigger businesses getting in and buying it up, swallowing up all the small companies, these private equity firms, and they're not as bad as like publicly traded stuff. But dude, it's happening, whether it's Pure Fishing, Strike King. Dude, our industry is shrinking by the day. That's why I am such a supporter of a Baitworks or an Express, who's still family owned, or Toad Thumper Lures, our buddy, the Cody's.
B-Rob, Tackle
For
Ladder,
sure.
things like that. Even
Arc Rot.
yeah, sure. Yeah, man.
Doing their thing, dude. It's not. And look,
Woods
if you
to water.
sell out, woods to water. Like if you sell out and get paid, good for you. Right. I don't have a problem with people making money. That's not where my issue lies. It's that the people that helped build those brands then turn into numbers on a spreadsheet and not people.
Yeah, man.
That sucks. And that is
the
machine. It's how it works. So that's why an Oliver Anthony kicks ass to me, because he's not that. Right. And he did it without him. Right. And you and I joke for years, and I told, again, name dropper, but I told Cody Cannon this the other day. He was talking about you and just what a piece of garbage you were. And I was like, dude, listen, Fat Cat's a good guy. No, he was actually like really bragging on you. And I was surprised. And he was talking about you and I and our relationship and our interactions. And I said, well, dude, we're black sheep. I hate you so much.
Go ahead, man. Our relationship.
Yeah, our relationship. Butterfly kisses, Eskimo kisses, whatever the hell you say all the time. You said to my children, by the way, last night.
Whatever.
A whole other story. Uncle Fat Cat. Uncle Fat Cat's not allowed at the cookout. But I said we are, and it's like somebody saying, well, I'm outlaw country and country music while you drive a Mercedes, or I don't know. Yeah. You've never been in trouble, like whatever. But I do consider you and I industry outsiders to a certain extent.
Yeah,
and I hate the word industry, but I know I just said somebody called me in the industry, but I'm just saying, like in the professional fishing world, like what you and I have built, we did it on our damn own.
Yeah,
with support from like our peers, like a Gerald Swindle, dude. I would be nothing without Gerald Swindle. I say that to anybody because people are like, "Go coattail rider." I've heard that, dude. Gerald Swindle helped me immense. He introduced me to his fan base at a time that learned, this dude is funny, and he's
how I was introduced to you during the whole
beard thing.
Yeah,
man. So many people I was introduced, like nobody knew, and I didn't do that to get quote like famous, and like none of this was in the cart. That's not where I was even. It was something to represent my mom and what she was going through, right? But and I owe Gerald, I'll always owe him. But I'm saying, like, you and I have still been, and that's why I take this crap so personal, is we are black sheep. MPFL, we're the black sheep league. Yeah. It's fair to say, like, we have no industry support from the actual fishing industry for the most part.
Working on it though, man.
We're working on it. It's changing, but I'm saying, like, we are outsiders to a certain extent, and dude, it's not easy all the time. So to see people break through,
I wouldn't change it though.
Hell no.
Well, and just because, man, I spent my whole life doing things in other terms, like you say, working for corporations or things like that, where you've just been a number, and now kind of doing. I worked for Harris Teeter grocery stores based out of North Carolina.
Driving truck, right?
I delivered groceries for 10 years. Before that, I drove trucks. I've basically driven trucks, did construction, run a chainsaw, put silt fence down, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, dude, and then leaving in 2019 when I kind of shifted my life to live longer, I like not, like you say, you're just a number, and then like you if you're built like we are, man, you dedicate yourself to a company, because your work reflects the person who you are, and I've learned this firsthand, buddy. If you're working somewhere and you're one of the guys that does 110%, and then Bobby does 60%, when Bobby finally does 75% job, he's gonna get a pat on the back. When you're the 110% worker and you finally do 99%, you're going to get reprimanded. That's just how
it does happen. No,
it truly does, man.
I live that. Yeah, I get it. So many people listening get that too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or they feel that way.
Absolutely,
right?
It's the truth. There really is that way.
People feel underappreciated.
Why am I taking time away from my family? Why am I doing all this and sacrificing all this for some company that doesn't even care about me?
Yeah,
like you said, I'm just a number.
Again,
and here, hold on, I'm on because this is
you
why I'm
rip and roll.
Well, I'm just trying to tell everybody
I get
there,
it.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
I know you feel like you do, and maybe you're in a situation where you can't leave now because you got a family, you got to have insurance. That's what you got to have. 401k, you got to have all these things. So we're kind of, dude, I've just
the prototypical. You got to have this to survive.
Yeah, it is very hard to take a chance and bet on yourself. So hard to gamble on yourself. But sometimes, man, you really got. My brother just did it, man. My brother left a very secure.
I love that, dude.
And he started his own business. And dude, I have never been prouder of him in my life. But this dude's got 3 kids. He's got a wife, and to leave a stable job, been at for years, and go out.
Terrifying.
Yeah, man. But dude, You only get one life. That's the thing that I've come 45 years old, man. There was a time where I didn't expect to make 45. And then I just had my perspective changed on life to where it's not fair for me to continually hurt myself by eating and drinking and being hard on myself. It's not fair to my brother. It's not fair to my nephew, my nieces. It's not fair to my girlfriend. It's not fair to anybody that loves me.
Yeah.
So that's why, we get selfish. And that's mental health is a big issue with professional bass fishing. You're away from your family. So
roller coaster.
We don't talk about it.
Nah.
You're not allowed to talk about it because we got everything's rainbows and butterflies. You're worried about being a liability to your sponsors. If you talk about hard times or if you talk about your feelings, it's dumb. Nobody.
Or you're honest.
Well, yeah, but that's.
And I'm not saying.
I don't know, man. I don't know about him. He said this or that.
I'm not saying people are dishonest. I'm just saying we are trained to be PC in the fishing world.
Absolutely.
That's why you resonate with people. I think that's why I have what little I resonate with people. I think that's it, because I just go, no, this is actually what it is. It's not the smoke and mirrors that everybody acts like. And I just say it. And a lot of people are like, woo. And that's why, again, the black sheep outsider, that's why you won't see a million fishing industry sponsors on the show ever. Right. And that's fine. You won't. And I would rather it not be that way, because I would rather those guys not call me and go, I can't believe you said this. We're going to have to fire you. Because I've lost a couple over the years, that didn't support me, that said they did. The deal.
We truly cannot, right now, if we really want to talk like we talk.
No, you can't.
You truly, you can't.
I mean, I did drop an F-bomb here.
You did. But also because you don't want to affect anyone else in a negative way, your partners or anything. It's not about getting reprimanded. It's just about you're representing companies and you don't want. It's just, I don't know.
I let that one just go too. And it's making me laugh thinking about the context. And it was a sponsor read when I dropped an F-bomb. I don't care.
You'll be okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Dude, I want to talk about real quick. I want to stay on the mental health thing. I want to talk about our sport. And I want to talk about the sacrifices that not just the anglers make, but the families make.
Oh, man.
That go out there, man. It's just, the sport can tear you apart because like we talked about earlier, it's not like you get signed up, okay, you got a $200,000 deal or $1 million deal. You're trying to, we talk about the sport growing, but you have to have a family dynamic or where your spouse is okay with you spending all the money you worked up, saved on, being gone all the time, chasing your dream. And then is she at home raising the kids? Why do you get to go chase your dream? Why she can't chase her dream? All these different things. It is very, very hard. And firsthand, my friend, you are out there and so many other people do, to where it is.
And just in my day job too. It's like you being a truck driver. Like
me being gone from home. Like it does take a toll on.
And that's what I want to say is not just in professional, like whatever your deal is.
Yeah.
Like if your job, even if it just takes you 5 miles down the road.
Even with us, we're taking money. We're taking money out of the family bank account to pay turnip, because not everybody has a big sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
There are situations where guys are putting their lives on the line to go catch a fish and to chase that dream of being a Gerald Swindle, Kevin Van Dam, and things like that, to where, dude, our sport is very, very, very unique, and it's
not rainbows and butterflies all the time.
No, it's not. But I love it, dude. I do love it, and that's why I like this whole sonar thing. I'll be glad when this storm. But as soon as this storm settles, another one will arise, and we just have to deal with it. Just make sure that we all kind of. I don't know, man. I get on my nerves.
I always say the worst part about debates like that, and I've been a part of some. In fact, I don't know if you know that about me, but I will bring something up.
Is that right?
But in the past, even when like the MLF versus bass stuff was really hot and heavy, and the bad thing about those in retrospect, looking back, is it's a lot of people that are like-minded, love the same thing. We're all about the same thing, but we tear each other apart. Because we do in the outdoors, and I've said this on here a lot, we tear each other apart, whether it's about deer hunting. A deer's not as big as you say it.
What are the dudes that are in the new tree stands, the swing? That's a whole thing. And I think too, it's opinions. We don't all share the same opinion,
right?
But I do think
that's fine.
But
that's fine.
I do think that we as content creators, those that are kind of the voice of the industry, have to be a little bit more responsible and not try to capitalize off of every controversy just to get a like of you and things of that nature. Because you really, if you're vested in this sport, or just fishing in general, if you're worried about conservation, you're worried about preservation, things like that, hey, man, have fun. Like we said, bust chops, do this or that. But at the end of the day, man, are you making things better or worse?
Did you?
What are you doing?
Like on the Oliver Anthony thing, how I said, I got it sent to me so many times. whenever like G made the "What do you think about forward facing sonar" video, asking the fans, there were no joke 40 just out of the people I follow. That's just a number I'm throwing out there, but like everybody just made like a hot take forward facing sonar video just real quick, as quick as they could, because they knew it would get views. Period.
It's smart. That's what you got to do.
It's smart, but I'm going. It's a hot button topic, so they just go for it. Now look, content on here,
low hanging fruit.
Did I talk about it? Yes, obviously we talked about it again today, however many weeks in a row. But it's just funny. Like even people that don't make those kind of videos, we're making those kind of videos. You're like, what is this dude doing making these? Like,
you got to stay relevant.
Thoughts on. I get it,
but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you get
like, why are you making a video right now?
Yeah, like come on,
Bobby?
dog. Like calm down. You don't ever give us your opinion on literally anything else, but because this is truly viral right now, and that's virals can be used a lot of different ways. But it was a hot button topic
for sure.
2 or 3 weeks ago, and some of the videos I saw getting made, I'm like, now a lot of them are the usual suspects that make videos on everything, to be fair.
Right.
And I'm not saying they have a place to speak more than other. I'm just saying it's odd when you see people like, well, I can give me some views on it, that just making one just to make one.
Dude, listen, if something's going on, I'm making a meme or I'm making a post about
you do, but you come at it from a different
always,
angle always.
I try to, and I have no problem making a meme that goes both ways, because I'm on the fence. You
always do that.
I'm trying to make somebody laugh, smile. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But yeah, I do try to.
You ride the fence always. Your forward facing memes were like, it was 2 dudes, or no, it was a woman like, with her boyfriend backed up against the wall, and he's like, "This is how dudes that complain about forward facing."
He had his legs wrapped around her, and she was holding him against.
Driving him into the wall.
Yeah, and it was like, this is how guys that don't like forward facing sonar like to be kissed. But dude, I could be that guy, and it looked like a.
I know.
I wish my girlfriend would pick me up and kiss me like that too. So, but dude, even like the kayak anglers, I made a couple.
Buddy,
couple memes about kayak.
They hated you for a minute,
but I love all of them.
I know.
Dude, for the most,
you're buddies with all of them.
Well, I don't even know if I am or not, but I think
a lot of them
community have a great sense of humor. They're a bunch of good old I love everybody that fishes for the most part, man. If you don't like me, here's my deal. The way I grew up and the way I'm built these days, I do not like confrontation.
Yeah.
I do not like it at all. But it's not because I'm bad at it. You know what I mean? Like I've really, since doing almost 10 years, I've really never had an issue with anybody, but I promise you, like I try to stay away from that kind of life. I don't like the negativity. I don't like those vibes. Plus, I don't know how I will react. I'm just not good in those situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of like yourself, I love to laugh.
Hair trigger, man.
Well,
at times.
I'm a one-upper.
Yeah.
I'm a one-upper. You say so, I don't like being that person. That's the kind of person I'm trying to get away from. And I've never really been a bad person.
So today on the show, we've learned you should quit your job, Per Fat Cat Newton. He's a problem.
No, you chase your dream, buddy. You do. You chase your dream as long as it doesn't affect anyone else in a negative way, like your family or kids. But you chase that damn dream.
Whatever it is.
Don't matter. As long as whatever you do is not affecting or hurting anyone else.
You want to go out in the woods and sing about fudge rounds, you go ahead.
Exactly. If you're a content creator, if you wanted to go viral, I could write a book about how to go viral. Like right now, like one of the hottest things.
Don't give that away. I need that.
Oliver Anthony, dude. If you do comedy like mine or skit stuff or whatever, I don't know why more people have not just went out in the woods, set up a camera, and done just silly songs. Because that right now is something trending. Like you were saying about whatever, you could go out and just do a parody of Oliver Anthony singing about whatever.
What if I did a song like, quit my job because my boss is a jerk. I'd rather be fishing than going to work. Do you think that would work?
That'd be a banger.
Okay.
That'd be a banger. But no, I mean, dude, yeah, you should do that. You guys in the comments need to tell him this song he opens the show up with, Biloxi Blues, he needs to make a legit music video. I've been preaching this. It has to happen.
It would be fun.
We need to GoFundMe account to raise a budget.
Yeah.
We need a budget. And we need a Biloxi Blues.
It's hard to ask low-lifers that watch low-budget live to contribute to a high budget for a music video.
And then I'm always skeptical of people, just random people that do GoFundMes. We've seen some over the years in the fishing world. Some young cats trying
help me get to the tournament that while you're at work. People, give me your hard-earned money. I deserve to fish more than you. Yeah, those are weird ones for me.
All right, dude, I got some topics I wrote down. All right.
Really?
You're talking about hard-earned money?
Like an hour in and you got topics.
I'm going to go into something serious real quick before we get too crazy. The Dick Hiley Big Bass Classic. Okay, that's the St. Jude tournament I've been affiliated with.
I'm sorry, I was
5
very
years.
confused for a second, but continue.
I got you.
I was going to make a terrible joke. Good.
Yeah, all right.
Now I feel bad.
St. Jude, right? This year is the 25th anniversary of the tournament out of Wabasha, Minnesota. This tournament, the way it works is, I think it's about 80 anglers, 80 teams this year. 80 teams, less than that, 70. Anyways, they raised $1 million.
Insane, dude.
This little tournament raised $1 million for St. Jude. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's involved with the Dick Holly Big Bass Classic. St. Jude, it's an incredible tournament. If you guys ever get a chance to participate, please do. And St. Jude is something near and dear to my heart. If you guys, I'm sure you guys, a lot of you don't know, I had leukemia. When I was 9, I was diagnosed with leukemia. And then I didn't have St. Jude. Like we didn't have. So I knew what it was like.
A lot of people don't.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't.
So I knew what it was like to go through that without having St. Jude. And I saw what it did to the family. My mom, they was wild. They was kids, raising kids. And I watched them. They already had issues. And then having a 9-year-old with cancer didn't help things at all.
Right.
So what St. Jude does is truly amazing. And it's one of those charities that I never have an issue donating to. Like if I'm I'm always weird. Like if I go to the grocery store or gas station and say, do you want to donate to these kids? I don't know what kids, I don't know where it's going.
Or how much percentage of it actually gets
I don't know all this, but God Almighty, I know when I donate to St. Jude, I feel very safe, secure, and I know where it's going. So I just wanted to give them a shout out, give St. Jude a shout out.
And you've been involved with that how many years now?
5 years. And what's crazy is when I got involved with them, they asked me to be a part of it, the MC. They had no idea I had leukemia. And I didn't start talking about my very private.
Last year, maybe.
Yeah, right? Dude. Social media for 10 years now. Like I don't talk about a lot of stuff that I've been through and gone through. Here lately I have been because I've realized.
Helps others.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out my cause in life. Why am I here? You know, the self-deprecating videos got to be because I would get hate. But the things of people that were leaving hateful comments didn't realize nobody hates me more than I hate myself. Yeah. So your comments aren't going to hurt me but so much. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I knew making that kind of content that I was
throwing gas on a fire.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Because I knew I could handle it.
Yeah.
I thought I could. Yeah. There were times where,
like
especially when you're a 500-pound dude and you're showing your guts out, and that was my way to deal with it, to deflect. Hey, I have to find a way to.
I remember seeing, and I remember talking to you about this back then when the one video that ended up on like ridiculousness and all that, like Jamie Foxx shares it,
Snoop,
George Lopez, Snoop Dogg, and these mega, worldwide famous people are sharing your content, and the comments were just brutal at times. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, damn, dude, I don't know how you, like, it's comedy and I know how you do it, but I don't know how you do it just because
when every comment was talking about how I was built, how I was shaped, and all that stuff, it was like, wow, some of them were hilarious. They said I was like a gallon of milk with toothpicks for legs. I was like, that's pretty good.
No,
somebody said I was built like a molar tooth.
I love that.
That was pretty good.
A gallon of milk with toothpicks is good.
Yeah, it was good. And some of them were terrible. You know what I mean? But
some people are just, we talked about this with me falling out of the boat video. I've talked, hey, man, I just wish you to just drown. Like, people are just like, why are you this way?
And if you guys want to do that content creator thing, that's just something you have to be prepared for. And it goes back to not let anyone's words affect you. But, yeah, dude, you can do the most non-offensive thing on social media, and people will find a reason
no doubt.
To leave an offensive comment.
It's just everybody looks at the world through a different window, I guess, and some of those windows are really dark and stupid.
Some people have... Certain people comment negative stuff on social media. And I think a lot of the people that comment, that are quick to comment, are people that can't be man-to-man in the real world. You know what I mean? So it's a weird thing. Like I don't have any of my people in my circle that are leaving negative comments on random posts. It's just not what normal people, but if you're somebody that deals with being inferior, if you have like self-confidence issues, I think it's a way to kind of feel like you're more manly or more tough than what you actually are, because odds are if you caught me in a Home Depot parking lot or somewhere, you probably wouldn't have that same energy. I would hope not, because I don't like dealing with anything like that anyways. Not saying like I would do anything.
I'm not a big dude, but most of the crap that gets said to me online, ain't nobody saying it to my face. Yeah. They're not. People aren't. You're not.
It's not because they're afraid to fight you. It's just because Just
no, it's
not what they would say.
No, it's out of their norm.
It's easier to do online, and it doesn't even seem like you're doing it to a real person because in their minds, they'll never meet you. They'll never see you.
Now, let's be honest. If you crazy enough to walk up to me in a Home Depot parking lot and say, "Hey, man, that podcast you do, fat cat, about 4 faces sonar," and slap me in the face or something, you're a psychopath anyway.
This is what I'm doing.
If
you come to me in a Home Depot parking lot and you want the smoke, I'm going to grab you by both ears, and I'm going to shove my tongue straight down your throat. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to.
I think I just knocked over a guitar.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to choke you out. I ain't going to headbutt you. I'm going to catch you off guard.
I got a Telecaster hit me in the back.
Look at you. What are you doing over there, man? Dude, you about to play a song?
Yeah, this heavy. Damn it, that got me.
I'm telling you, people, they what else?
There was a comedian. You remember Rodney Carrington?
Oh, yeah. Helicopter.
He said, he goes, you know what I'm going to do? Because he's a little bitty sawed off dude. He's like, you come to me, you try to fight me, I'm going to take off my clothes. Yeah. Nobody wants to fight the naked guy. I used to love that bit. Nobody wants to fight the naked guy. All right, you got topics.
I do. But we've covered a lot of stuff. Like I came into this situation too because I always go into podcasts. I don't like doing podcasts. Podcasts to me, I don't watch them. I don't really do them because it's just I don't know, man. I guess I don't have.
Thanks, man.
I'm built weird. Well, I enjoy it. I enjoy this one. It's just like I never know what to do. Am I supposed to be the fat cat character and all this, or I don't know, man.
No, you got to be what you've been today. Which
that's what I want to start doing more. I'm trying to open up and just. Like I've always been so guarded of myself. I've always tried to be the fat cat character because of just. But I'm 10 years, man. I'm tired. You know what I mean? I like being a fat cat. I'm just trying to find that happy medium to where I can keep making people laugh and still somehow be relevant and keep growing my brand, but yet be more comfortable with who I am.
Yeah, man.
Because I get tired of it. Dude, and this is one thing.
Taking care of yourself, dude. You said you drop a couple 100 pounds. That's no.
I changed I quit drinking, bro. Dude. Anybody out there that wants to lose weight, yeah, I know. Oh, I miss it, buddy. I miss it.
I hadn't had one.
I lost low carb, low sugar. I quit drinking. I did several things. I got videos up about all that stuff, but it was hard at first. But dude, once you get into a routine, you can do it. And I really think anybody, if I did it, dude, I think a lot of people. You just have to want to do it, and
you got to be stubborn.
You got to be stubborn, and you know,
willpower is huge. And look,
it's easier for me when you're doing it for other people.
Yeah,
it's when you do it for yourself, you're like, but dude, when I had the mindset that I was hurting other people, I felt guilty. I felt bad. So I have to get better so I can be better for them. And so that's.
Yeah, and you and I've talked about, because my weight's like, but health-wise, like this year I had a couple health scares.
Yeah.
And then I just dug a deeper hole, like, you know, a lot of outside factors stressing me out in life, and like food is my crutch a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
And alcohol. Like I drink Tito's like a damn fish at times. And this year, dude, I've just kind of like let it go. And I stay, you know me, like hiking.
Oh, yeah, no, you're active.
I try to be active.
We've been on location places where you got to get up and go walking.
Yeah, like I'm always that way. But like this year, I really stopped until about a month ago. And dude, I just like almost a month, around Labor Day, I just said, all right, hard reset. And but you do have to, because I had I lost like 40 something pounds. It's been 10 years ago probably. I've gained it back, you know, it happens. But I did, man. And I was like so dedicated, and I quit drinking for that time period. When I was really working on it. I didn't have a drink at all. And I had a friend of mine that was really struggling with drinking. And he said, like, how do you do it? I said, dude, I'm the most stubborn SOB you've ever met, right? At times he's like, well, yeah. I said, you just got to be that with it. Just like you're saying, self-deprecation. Like you just got to look yourself in the mirror and go, oh, like you going to let that be? And I get like, you can lean on it and you can really be addicted to it. And I've been there, but I think you just gotta want it. Like you said, for other people and for yourself. And you've got to be more stubborn than it is. And dude, that is easier said than done.
It is.
But here's the thing. If you go a week and you don't have a drink, or you don't eat ice cream, or you don't, whatever your deal is, and you fall off the wagon for a day, just start it back the next day. Just don't let it turn into a giant snowball rolling down the hill. That's where I get, because I'll go in the triple threat. I'm calling her out right now. She's an enabler. She is. She and I can be on like a diet thing, and she'll be like, hey, you want to blow this off and go get some Wendy's tonight? And I'll be like, hell yeah, girl, let's go get a Frosty and a damn Baconator right now. And we'll be in the drive-thru getting Coca-Colas and whatever. She's terrible about that. But if I go, hell no, she goes, okay.
Why is she terrible about that? Why
dude,
can't,
I don't
why
know.
Can't she get a salad when she gets her Frosty?
I don't know, dude, because I am very much.
Why are you blaming that on her?
Peer pressure.
You're blaming that on her.
Peer pressure guy.
Yeah, you're deflecting.
Okay, here we go. This is.
No, I'm seriously though.
No, I get it, but I always tell her, I'm like, she
doesn't make it easy. So my girl
doesn't.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I blame her.
But that's your problem. So now she has to eat clean because you're eating clean.
That's right.
It's a weird thing. And for y'all out there that are trying to find ways to lose weight, if the first way doesn't work, diets. I've lost 500 pounds. Let me stop. I've lost 100 pounds 5 different times. I would always go on a diet. I would go on a low-fat diet, low-calorie diet, things like that. This time I went low-carb, low-sugar, and I tried to find something that wasn't a diet. So I'm not on a diet. I just eat different. You know, I'm not on it. Like I'm more of a meat, egg kind of deal. I don't like giving advice. This is what I did to lose that 100 pounds 5 different times and to lose the weight this time. One thing that really helped me was setting a date. So like right now, September 25th, I would say, okay, starting October 1st or October 14th, whatever, that's when my diet will start. So from this point there, I'm going to eat.
I'm going
to gorge.
Yeah.
I'm going to gorge. When I was drinking, I'm going to do all that. But that's my cutoff date. So that gave me something to work towards. And by then I was acclimated. I was mentally prepared to cut those things I made sure that my refrigerator was out of all those bad things. I was ready. And that's really
that's important. I think
it really is. Dude, you have to
way.
Prepare yourself. It's very hard to wake up one morning and say, I'm going to quit everything when everything is still in your face. And that's kind of like with the people in your life. Growing up, it's weird who said it. My mom's batshit crazy. But one thing I was taught,
I get it.
You're only good as the dogs you run with.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of like growing up, dude, I got great friends, but we would get into trouble. I'm one out of there was 5 of us that rolled around. I was one of the only 5 that never got a DUI. We out of time?
No. I was just making sure.
So I was one out of the 5 that didn't get a DUI. I was lucky, right? And they're all still my boys, but I learned like to get to where I wanted to get if I was still hanging around them right now, I'd be doing all the same things.
You'd be in trouble, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of implemented that same logic with food. Dude, I love me some bread, some potatoes, but I learned if I kept...
Hates pancakes.
Pancakes can cold straight suck it. I don't even understand what pancakes are or waffles. That whole thing is dumb. You guys are just eating bread with sugar on it? Get out of my life, dude. Where's the meat? Where's the cheese? Where's the egg? I will fist fight somebody. You bring me pancakes, dude, we going. I'm not
my favorite fat cat.
But yeah, dude. Yeah. Anyways, whatever I just said. What was I saying? Oh, dude, I'll ramble.
You said you love all the bad stuff, but
so I kind of did the same thing. Well, what I did with friends when I was younger, I kind of did the same thing. I'll still see my friends every once in a while. We just don't see each other all the time. Same thing with foods. Now that I've lost that weight, I trust myself better. So if me and my girl, we go to a Mexican joint, I'll have some Tostitos, some salsa, but I just have a few.
But the limit.
Yeah, because I am scared to death of gaining the weight back. Like I have anxiety about it, dude. Every time I see myself in a picture, I'll get on the scales. I feel a certain way. I cannot gain that weight back.
What's crazy about your transformation is when you do post the old throwback videos.
Yeah, man.
I was around you all the time and I never dude, I mean, yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, dude, fat cat's like a professional wrestler. Like you're a big dude. Like tall, like you're wall-to-wall treetop tall line. Dude, you're a big guy. Like you're an intimidating guy when you walk in a room. Like you're a big guy. But I never thought, well, this cat's got 250 pounds to lose because you're just so tall. And when you post those, I'm like, damn, I don't remember that. I don't remember that guy.
Dude,
I don't. And I remember all the videos, but then you post the one, and I'm like, oh, I remember this video. And I'm like, I don't remember that. Like him. Yeah. You had the mullet for a while too, and all that. I'm like, I don't remember this guy. Even when we first started MPFL, right? That intro video we did, me, you, and Dudley. Like looking back at those
I was probably
pictures,
down to like 450 or 465 right there.
You're 200 pounds lighter than that essentially right now than that. Like it just blows my mind thinking about, dude, that's 2 people.
Yeah.
That you've lost. It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
God, I'm proud of you, dude.
I appreciate you, man. It's a wild thing and it's crazy. I don't feel like I've lost that much. I'm still very insecure about how I look, about how shirts fit on me. I know a lot of guys are probably watching. Like I do a sun shirt Dude, I'll burn sun shirts. Don't give me a sun shirt because it's showing all the. Because you think I was 200 some pounds, I've lost, and everything is just blah. I got logs of bologna hang offs. I got bologna tits, and I got all this guts and just flaps. So I'm still, but I do feel better, dude. I can get around better. I've done things. I'm 45, man. Which, if you look at my pictures when I was bigger, I look like I was 12 because my face was so stretched you couldn't see wrinkles.
Yeah, like a baby face,
buddy. When I lost the weight. And I can see wrinkles in my face. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. But
there's something. Another friend of mine has lost some serious weight in the last year in a questionable way, I think. There's a lot of these weight loss drugs out there.
Yeah.
And he'll remain nameless, but him and his wife both, and like, dude, they look like they're like the crypt keeper almost. Like, it's not good, right? But it's crazy when you lose weight, when you do get older, like you're saying. And maybe your face is a little chubbier.
Yeah. So I was afraid.
And then it does show your age more. Like they don't look like they're 20.
Dude,
they look like they're 60, and you don't. I'm not saying it, but like in the dude, like I was around this dude in person the other day for the first time while I'd seen pictures. And I was like, God dang, like it was not good. I'm like, bro, maybe you might want to put the weight back on. But I think it's a combination of how he's losing it.
Yeah,
too.
that's one thing you got to be careful with too. Like I say, I always, like I had people ask me about doing the surgery. Do you want to do the surgery?
Shortcuts never work.
Well, dude, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think if you're built for it, I think certain people they do work for. I just don't think I'm built for that kind of stuff. Because if you're dealing with a decent practice, you got to go through like 6 months of therapy and all this. And then once you go through the procedure, dude, I couldn't imagine what I would feel like. And I feel bad for people this has happened to. You go through that procedure, you lose that weight, and then you put it back on. I just don't want, plus I don't want anybody in there rearranging stuff. I don't want bands and this, but also I think it takes more courage for somebody to do that than to do what I did. So I admire people that but I also think going into that, man, you really have to.
You got to commit to it too.
And that's harder. That's hard.
Well, I think if you're at a point in your life, like, again, that hard stop, and that's what it takes is a surgery, then do it. Yeah. Whatever,
sure.
Because food kills more people than a lot of things in this country, and not to just go down that rabbit hole, but man, it's so hard to, especially on the road, my God, man, or you're busy in life, and so many of y'all watching this, you got kids playing ball, you working your fingers to the bone, you get home, you got to go to the ball field, or you got to go to the gym, you got to go to little your daughter's gymnastics, whatever. Like everybody's so busy, and so you stop and get the choke and puke Wendy's for the whole family because it's a $20 bill. It used to be a $20 bill. It's like
sodium. All
I love it as much as anybody, but dude, it's so hard. And then I think what gets me, and man, this is really a soapbox, but what gets me is like you go to the grocery store trying to like eat healthier and get some salad stuff or fruit, and it costs more than getting a damn Big Mac. So I get why people go, well, man, I can feed my kid. Like, I don't know what it was like for you growing up in this department. Like, we lived close to my grandma Duncan, and she cooked every night, dude. Every night. Like, you didn't go out to eat. My grandma cooked. And, like, you ate what she made. Like, my kids are so damn spoiled, but you ate what she made. Like, we ate vegetables. We had fruit. We ate whatever she came up. Now, you might be eating beef liver and onions. I've done that a number of times, too, and that's fine. I still love it to this day. Salmon patties. Like, she was old school, but, dude, she cooked.
Yeah.
Every night. She made breakfast every morning for herself, even if she lived by herself for many, many years. Like, that's what she did.
Yeah.
Marissa, Triple Threat's mom, same deal. Every night. Every morning breakfast. But that doesn't exist anymore.
Dude,
you tell the Triple Threat, she got to cook every night. Yeah. She's leaving.
So my little brother.
She's going to Little Caesars.
My little bro, he's got 3 kids, and he's married, and like they're always on the go.
Yeah,
like
it's tough, man.
I think they eat more at the house now, but there was a time where like they would burn the dollar menu up and different things.
Rough, man.
It is rough, and you got to, and that kind of stuff too. I think like talking about what they put in foods and stuff. It's all about marketing. It's all about more sales. It's all about things that are low key addictive. Like we get used.
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks, another thing.
You and I are
energy
about
drinks,
that.
Sodium, anything with salt in it, just different things, man. It's why you'll be craving things for, I don't know, man. And for food, man, food for me, this is something I don't think anybody knows. I tried out for Biggest Loser.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah,
I never knew that.
No, I did. I think I did that in 2015.
No kidding.
2016. Yeah, I never talked about it, and I went in there.
So you weren't like a big enough loser?
Oh no. What I learned is they didn't want losers. So when you went in and they interviewed you, and I've got a story, and I'll tell my story one day. I've let some pieces of it out, but I was telling them so food for me was an escape. When everything, when everything was bad,
Dude.
when my prayers weren't there, when all this stuff, just everything around as a kid, all through, a lot of times that was my escape. That was what made me happy, was that a bag of chips and dip.
I was going to say, what was that? Because I have
always,
mine still.
I never had one thing. Typically, it was like anything fatty or I was more of a sodium. I never was a sugar guy, but it was always chips and dip or anything I shouldn't be. But that
like
was
savory kind of.
Yeah, that was like, that's what brought joy to me.
Achilles heel.
Yeah. And so then I think that's why I got so big, because whenever life was whatever, some people, we all have the things we turn to.
Yeah.
Food was mine. So I told that story, and they're just like, oh, because they've heard it 10 million times.
Because a lot of obese people,
here's the thing I've learned too about life, about mental health. Anybody out there struggling, I can tell you, man, you are not whatever you're dealing with, I promise you're not the only one. And one of the biggest things that weighs on us is that we feel like we're the only one going through this.
Or we're trying not to talk about it too.
Oh, that's the biggest thing.
Especially men.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, man, toughen up, get up. I know you scraped your knee.
Yeah.
Get your ass
walk
up.
It off.
Come
walk
on.
it off. Stop being lazy. Yeah.
And that's fine too.
It works on some people, sure.
But I'm just saying, like, when mental health, and I'm a guy that has struggled with it at times. You and I've had these off-air conversations. I don't know that I've ever said that on here. But, like, I've had a lot of crap. And it runs in my family. And some people listen probably like, oh, yeah, no joke. You suffer from mental health? Yeah, we figured that out.
That shocker, the guy that's doing nunchuck videos with a thong.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, your life's all over the place, buddy. We get it, Luke. But you're not. I can remember talking to my mom, because my mom really did, God rest her soul. She suffered with a lot of different things when I was growing up. And I can remember having an incident, like the first time I really was like, okay, I don't think that's normal, that I like felt that way or something, and calling her. And I was an adult at this point. It's many years ago, but I was an adult out of the house, and I called her, and she just started crying, and she's like, apologize. She's like, I'm sorry you're that way because I'm that way. And so she starts like pulling back the curtain, and she goes, and it's okay to talk about it. And it's like, because my dad, on the other hand, is rough and tough Marty D, but he's a softy too.
So my dad was the same way. My dad, like, he was my guy, right? But I lost my dad. My dad was 47. So I was like 22 when dad passed away. But never, I love you, hugs. There was no I loving you, no hugging.
My dad kind of straddles that fence. He's more so now that he's older than when I was a kid. And not if Marty D, I know he doesn't watch or listen to anything I do, but he's been on here a couple times. But he was a loving dad, don't get me wrong. But my mom was that, and I think I'm more that for my boys, no shot at my ex-wife, than she is at times to them. Because I just, like, I want them to know, like, hey, it's, and some people listening are probably saying, well, you want to soften them up, you want to make them whatever. Well, they like killing shit too. All right, they're tough.
There you go. Exactly.
They like getting blood on their hands and shooting stuff. They're tough. But I'm also like, hey, it's all right. Like, if you got something going on, like, we can talk about it. Like,
yeah, man.
Don't bottle it up, because I don't want them to be me.
There you go.
I know my mistakes.
There you go.
And I don't want them to walk that same path and be like, hey, man, it's okay. And one day I hope to have enough courage to, and it's not like I've got crazy struggles in life, but like, there have been times, man, and you and I have had in-depth conversations about a lot of things, mental health-wise, and things you and I have done and said that we regret and in our personal lives. And I hope one day to get on here and do a podcast about that, to be brave enough. I think people are very brave when they go, hey, this is what I am. This is because a lot of people think I got my crap together, and like this is, and you too, and we don't.
Oh no, by no means, no,
and never will. I hope I never do, because it's part of the.
It's day to day for me, man. Yeah. Life is day to day for me.
But you got to work on yourself, though, man. I think that's the overall point. Of all this is like, no matter what you're going through, like you said, I promise you, other people are going through it.
Yeah, that's that. You have to. That is one of the most important things that I've learned. Like, I've never been. I don't know. And like I said, I'm not going to open up so much because it's not the time. And I feel weird about getting too open about things. But
I appreciate what you. I want to.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
I appreciate what you shared with everybody today, man, because it's
not easy.
Hell no. And I remember your video talking about your childhood and just sitting there and like openly sobbing watching it, and because I know you real well, and and I've dealt with cancer in my life. Obviously, it's well documented on here, like with my mom and my grandmother and like an uncle of mine. Like it's in my family, and it terrifies me, And to think about a child having to go through that, man. And I know you as an adult, and you're one of my best friends in life, like my brother. But just watching that, because even though I know you like better than I feel like a lot of people know you, I didn't know the extent that we had talked about, but not to that extent. And that video, man, and so many people reached out to me that are fans of yours, that know we're friends, and were like, that was beautiful. Yeah. And I think that's where you got to get as a person, and I'm not one to give advice, or shouldn't give advice, I guess, but you'd be real surprised if you got something going on, if you talk to your buddies that you think might like really gig you on it, that they go, holy crap, man. Because I've got dear friends of mine that have been on the show that I won't name, that people think are like rough and tumble or they're whatever. Yeah. And when you finally
those are the ones.
Yeah, that you finally open up about, dude, man, like as I've gotten older, like I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And they go, holy crap, man. And you go, and it opens up a whole new like level of your friendship relationship, because they're a person that you can then bounce this off of, man. In your circle. You don't, because dude, I think the worst thing for me, what I used to fight with a lot of the demons that I have and have had in life is, like you said, you try to just fight them yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when you end up making really terrible decisions at times. And I won't go into all my vices over the years, because I've had plenty, but you turn to the wrong thing, man. If you keep it in and go, well, I'm too tough to talk about this, or I'm not allowed to talk about this, or I'm embarrassed to talk about this.
You hit on embarrassed.
This is the deepest LBL of all time.
Is it really? Yeah, well, I can say
it is hard.
It's good, man. It's hard to talk about your feelings. Like you said, dude, we're in a world, like especially like who we are as
the fishing industry.
Not even take that out of the equation. Yeah. The people we surround ourselves with, the people we grew up with, the good old boys. Like you're
talking about thick skin. All of our, but we bust
boys
balls
ain't worried about hearing you got feelings. But you're saying at this point, you get to a certain age,
it does change. You're 21 years old. Your buddies are gonna be like, "Hey man, you need another beer."
You start reflecting on your life and the value of life, or what you're supposed to do in life. I can promise, and I can tell anybody listening to this that's not 45. If you're a young cat and you're listening, whatever your perspective is on life at 20, 21, 22, I promise you,
man,
it will be different when you double that. It's going to change. Some of your main staples in life are things you stand, but you learn a lot. It's wild. And then
it's so crazy. I tell people about, I got divorced obviously several years ago, and I got married at like 22 years old, which is young. Like my stepdaughter now, she's 22. I can't fathom her getting married right now, right?
Yes.
And my first wife was older than me, and I don't want to say like kind of pushed me into it, but she was several years older, and she was like done with being a kid, kinda, and she wasn't like 20 years old. She was like 6 years older than me, 5. But she was ready. She's ready for a family. She's ready for all that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Right. And I remember my dad being like, hey man, you're really young. And he and my mom had got married young, and he was like, it's a bad idea, because you're going to grow a lot between like 22 and 30, and then 30 and 40. And dude, it was just a disaster. And I was most of the reason it was a disaster. Like, full disclosure, I was most of the reason it was a disaster, but it was a disaster because like, I didn't know who the hell I was at 22, and then at 25, and at 28. And then it's like, dude, you're a kid. And then we're kids having kids. And it's like, and they're the two best things that ever happened to me in life.
Awesome.
But it's like, you're like trying to figure that out and trying to figure out like life with somebody. And then there's all these different things changing all the time. And like, it's so crazy though, to your point. Even I think back when this podcast started, things I've probably said that have triggered people or whatever, like how my mindset has changed and perspective on, oh wait, yeah, I might not should have said that. That wasn't fair to judge that, because now maybe it's something that I've experienced either maybe with MPFL, right? Like us, a fledgling, like we're 3 years in trying to get stable footing. I think about BPT and some of my criticisms back when it started. Some of them were very justified, but shout out Jim Wilburn. But still don't love that guy. Never will. That perspective hasn't changed. Had to get that in there for all the low lifers. But I say that like some of the struggles we've had in MPFL, you go, and criticisms that people throw away, and you go, what, by God? And you get upset about it, and you're like, hang on a second, Luke. It's like pot calling the kettle black, right? Like
That's
throwing the, glass house, throwing stones thing.
Yes.
So your perspective does change. And I'm not saying I was right or wrong back then. That was my opinion. That's the cool thing about this platform, or as a songwriter. Like when I write songs now, they're so different than like when I wrote Biloxi Blues 10 years ago because of the headspace I'm in life.
That's right.
And perspective. Like I write more about like my kids and my.
I said like Luke Combs. Also, Luke Combs has kids now. His songs. Who? See, yeah, I like me some Luke. I know he's mainstream. He's on the radio, but
no, I do too.
I dig me some Luke and Nicole. But yeah, dude, I think that
you wrote a song with him, right?
Oh God, we'll talk about that one day. I mean, we're about out of time. I may or may not. So I used to drink a lot.
This is my all-time.
Are we telling the story now?
All-time favorite Fat Cat story. We don't have to tell it, but I feel like it's my all-time favorite Fat Cat.
Dude, he likes it a whole lot more than I do. So
I've got them too, though, that you must.
Our
I've told mine on here.
Oh, have you? That sucks. All right. Well, so
I know what your comeback is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just yeah. So back in the day, Brian Robinson, old B-Rob, dude, I love.
Shout out number 96.
That's right, man. He used to have the Real Men Foundation tournament, and this was probably about 2017, 2018-ish. I don't even know what year it was. And Luke Combs came to the event, and then like afterwards, we all hung out at the Stump. It's a bar in Texas, the coolest bar restaurant ever, dude.
First trivia, first live band to ever play there. Only live band to ever play there before Luke Combs.
Whiskey Myers.
And since.
I know, it was
Luke Duncan in second place, Jake.
There we go.
Yeah, 2 times there.
Anyway. All right, so when you walk into the Stump, dude, the Stump, so typically if you were to go if you were around North Carolina or you some other sports place, you might see race car jerseys, NFL jerseys. The Stump, it's all fishing jerseys. It's a bar and restaurant just for fishermen. It's cool. Anyways, went there, and that's where like the after party was. Hung out with Luke, cool cat, him and Nicole. We were best friends. Overnight best friends. Cool.
For sure.
Thought we were good. And then there may have been times where I may have DM'd him afterwards because he followed me on Instagram. And
his wife follows you?
His wife follows me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do or not because I may have DM'd some song lyrics to Luke Combs. And I may have said, hey, buddy, if you want to, you can use these, no charge or something of that effect. Yeah, I was trying to give song lyrics to Luke Combs. And he may or may not have left me on
red. The guy
red.
that wrote Hit Me Like a Hurricane, some of the best hooks in country music in the last 10 years. In fact,
I'm trying to help him out.
So here's the deal, dude. I've been sitting around thinking about this, and I got these lyrics for you. Quit my job because my boss is a jerk.
Yes.
Rather be fishing than going to work.
Yeah.
I do love that. I love that parody, by the way. I give you crap over that all the time. But my kid, Ryder, man, my youngest listens to that all the time. Your parody of Old Town Road is freaking.
That's one of the things that I got to say. Hilarious. That song right there, man.
I just bailed you out of your Luke Combs.
Thank
story,
you. Appreciate it. Shout out to High Speed Chase. High Speed Chase is the one I did that song with.
So good.
Yeah, man. That parody song was huge, man. And Michael Rodriguez, he'll never see this, but he was the one that shot it, helped us with it, did all the videography. But that video, dude, like even like talking to Ott Defoe, he's like, man, my kids love that song.
Oh yeah,
and things like that. And so many people in the industry, like that song. It's wild.
Everybody I meet is an instant fan. I love it so much.
Yeah, and we talk about doing another one, and we did a couple of those, but I can write songs, Luke Combs. So holler at me. I'll be your ghostwriter. I got one for Whiskey Myers. Slow roller spinner beats, quick and deep diving plugs. Fish is my addiction. That tug is my drug. I wake up in the morning with it on my brain. If I don't go soon, I'm gonna go insane.
Cody Cannon, if you're listening, I know you're writing that new album right now, bud.
Yeah. Spending more time on the deck of my boat than a politician does trying to get you to vote.
Throw Fudge Round in there and it's a hit.
Fudge Round.
Bobby! Fudge Round is the new Bobby.
Yeah, dude. No, you're never.
Kind of sounded like Cody a little bit, man.
I got the pipes, dude. I got the pipes. Yeah, but you're not replacing Bobby. That's one thing that's just caught on.
Gosh almighty. I catch myself saying it like when I go to say, what's this guy doing over here? I'm like, what's Bobby doing over here? Like,
yeah.
But my youngest, Ryder, he'll say, what's Bobby doing over? Like, it's just, it's infected the Duncan home. Because Ryder's a fat cat. He's a fat cat fan, man. It's, of course, Uncle Fat Cat's only been farting all over his pillows here at the house because Ryder's not here the last couple days.
I will fart on a kid's pillow in a heartbeat. Call me what you want. If you
clip that. Sleep, I need a producer. Clip that.
If I come stay at your house, you put me in your kid's room, I'm going to fart on his pillow. So
the kid can't be there though, because that's weird.
Yeah, it would be weird. That would be weird, especially if he was sleeping on the pillow and
Uncle Fat Cat at the Duncan House.
Are we done with this? Are we still talking?
I don't know, man.
I
I
can
many
talk.
more topics you got?
I got stuff, dude. I got stuff.
Should we talk about anything fishing while we're here?
Potomac River. Let's talk about Potomac
Let's
River.
not.
I want to talk about it a little bit. I want to talk about it coming back. I want to talk about what I've seen this year.
The Toyota Series is there. Shout out to Christian. Is it Kristen or Christian Greco? He's a great fisherman. He's from Florida. He's a flipper. He won a shortened, and we're recording this a couple days before the actual upload date of Low Budget Live. A tropical storm / hurricane.
Yeah, man.
And you were telling me about it yesterday. Well, it came in and they canceled day 3 of the Toyota Series. He was able to catch enough in 2 days. They handed him the trophy, handed him the check. He's a guy I see like works hard on social media. I think I don't want to get that wrong.
No,
I do think
I'm not sure.
I don't know him, and my apologies, dude, if you watch this insanity.
Please don't take it personal.
Yeah, that I don't know your. I can't remember if it's. I'm just going to quit talking and I'm going to look it up because I do follow him.
All right, check it out. Let me know what you got. Yeah, but far as Potomac River, dude, fish. I spent a lot of time out there this year compared to what I normally spend out there, and dude, the amount of bait in the river is unbelievable. Like, it is unreal. The grass didn't really die this past winter, so the grass was thick. Like,
it's Christian. I nailed it.
Christian, good job, man. I'm proud of you.
But
shout out to Christian.
Geico, like Geico with an R.
Let me see.
Right there. Got 11,000 followers.
Man, he's strong. 11,000. Good job, buddy.
But a lot of fishing content. Like, dude catches them. Like, he fishes Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit as well. He's had some good finishes in that, but got him a Toyota Series win, man. That's no easy feat, dude.
Attaboy.
No easy feat. That got him. No, dude, I forgot he won a pro circuit down at Harris Chain. Yeah, he won 100K. This is not his first, but yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, in 22, like in March 22. Yeah, just saw that on his Instagram, but I forgot about that. Yeah, he won Harris Chain. Yeah, so
good for him.
Yeah,
dude.
Dude's a catcher, man. So
he had 18 pounds. He had 18. What
first day, and then backed it up with maybe I forget yesterday. Yeah. It was a tougher day for him, and he said it was cool. I saw his post this morning. He said that his last fish that put him over the top came 10 minutes before weigh-in on day 2. And without it, he would have been sitting in second going to the last day. And then
have mercy.
It's crazy how things work out. Once your time. We always say that in sport. But on your beloved river up there.
I think we're going to see it bounce back. There was a time back in the, mid 2023, 2010. Them boys were catching 25, 26, 27-pound sacks out there.
We haven't seen that in a while.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I think, dude, like we're on that upwards.
A lot of grass.
And we haven't been getting as much pressure, but as soon as the fish is better, the pressure will pick back
up. It always comes.
This year, exactly.
The national tournament scene tends to, the Toyotas always go there, I feel like. Yeah. But the national tournament scene seems to kind of pull back, and that being like elites. And, well, I think you guys had a pro circuit there this year, too.
Yeah.
They come and go. FLW/MLF seems to, bass used to be like a constant. Like you were going to see. They haven't had an elite there in a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but dude, that fishery has always been so historic. Like old Bassmaster TNN Bob Cobb days for me as a kid. Like talking about dreaming about traveling the country. Like the Potomac was always like, oh my God, I can fish a grass flat and see the Washington Monument. Like, I'll never forget the first time I got to go there as a co-angler in FLW, and they railed on them that week. And then I fished it out of the front of the boat the next year, and they caught the crap out of them again. And I did not get involved in that catch fest near as much as I should have. I was kind of late to the party. And as always, but such an amazing place.
What year was that?
2015 was the first time I ever got to fish there as a co, and then 2016. It was either 16 or 17. We went there when I was fishing out of the front. I say out of the front.
You catch any snakeheads?
I did. Yeah, I did. Practicing with Strader. It was the funniest thing with Wesley in 2015. He's like,
hell is that? What the hell is that?
He's like, dude, you get up here on these flats and get them snakeheads. Let's find them. And like, we spent half of our practice. Of course, he like top 10'd it because he's Strader, but chasing snakeheads.
Oh, dude,
like we did it. Like we were looking for them, but in 2017 there, I caught several, like in practice and in the Derby. It was dumb, like way more than I'd caught the last time I was there. And I'll never forget in practice, I was up close to DC, and there was like a little ditch off the river, and I was in a fiberglass boat, then running a Ranger, like everybody else on the FLW tour back then. But I still liked always trying to get off the beaten path.
Sure.
Like I do in my Express. But I was up this, I caught a giant one, dude, for me. And I don't know what it weighed, but like, I don't know, 10 pounder or something. Like it was a really, really big one for me. Because most of them I'd caught were like, 5 pounds or
Typically,
whatever.
if they're over 10, they're going to be black.
Yes.
So yeah,
yes,
that's
what
how
I was
you
gonna
know.
say.
Yeah, if he's all, if it's going.
But I was swimming a jig like we do around here, like
yeah,
up high,
yeah.
and there was like a clump of grass, and there was current ripping out of this. Tide's going out in this little ditch, and I'll never forget that. Dude, I wish I'd had a GoPro running, but like fire my swim jig up there and just like coming back, and this sucker annihilates it, and I knew instantly, like, all right, that ain't no Potomac River largemouth. And it was a monster. I was glad to have the net in the boat, but it was, and I've got a selfie of it somewhere.
It sucks to catch them when you're tournament bass fishing.
I was going to say,
if you go out there and just target those,
you love them, man. It's interesting because
to
people
me,
hate them,
yeah.
right? Like ecologically speaking.
They're you don't want them in your ecosystem. Fortunately,
but they're thriving on the Potomac.
And they're not. No, I would.
Would you say that they're? But do you think they're having a negative and just in your personal, like, impacting the bass fishery?
By no means whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, and right now the numbers of snakeheads are way. I personally say, I don't want to say way down. They've gotten way smarter. The numbers that were caught a few years ago are no longer caught. There's way more pressure on snakeheads now.
You were supposed to kill them for a long time, so a lot of them got wiped out too.
Yeah. So now you can catch and release, and if you want to keep them, you can't transport them alive, so you got to kill them, right? There was a time you could go out there and you could catch 20, 30 a day.
Oh, wow.
No problem, probably. Certain areas, right? Because they love paths, they love shallow, muddy vegetation, and they get up in that stuff. But far as a top water bite, in freshwater, I can promise you, man, like they will give any freshwater topwater bite a run for its money. When a 9, 10, the biggest one I caught this year is 14 pounds. That was on a spinnerbait. The biggest one on topwater was like 12, almost 13. Buddy, it's like an alligator hitting it because their whole body is a fin. It's all muscle. So when they hit, first of all, I think what they do, they try to hit it so hard, they kill it, and then when it goes to the bottom, they'll eat it again because
okay.
It's funny. They demolish it, dude. It is not like a bass. They'll crush it sometimes. But a lot of times they'll flush a toilet on it and suck it from below.
Yeah.
Snakehead, dude. And then when it is a invigorating.
They're a predator, dude.
Yeah, they're very fun and good. And I will give a shout out. And I'm not just doing this. I'm not on their payroll. I pay for every Toad Thumper lure I got. I've paid for. The Toad Thumper frogs, when it comes to toothy critters, I have got to say, I don't know what they make them out of. And I'm not a guy, I'm not even going to say that it's the best frog I've ever thrown. I don't use that term because I haven't thrown every frog. I can say they're the best frog.
Hard to talk in absolutes, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the best frog I've thrown, and they're very durable. But dude, but the snakeheads in the Potomac and they're delicious. They're delicious.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
When I post them pictures, everybody, that's a damn bowfin, man. That's trash fish. Ain't no way because a lot of folks don't even know
the difference.
Anything about them. But back to the ecosystem, they were discovered in 2004. When they were first discovered in the Potomac in 2004, you would have thought that
world was ending.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I remember.
And then more information came out, more information comes out, and then you fast forward almost 20 years later, and the ecosystem is fine. Our biggest problem in the Potomac are blue cats. People don't realize, whenever I've showed pictures of snakehead, they're invasive, right? That's an invasive species. You ought to kill it. Well, blue cats are also invasive to the Potomac River.
Yeah.
They were introduced
they
were introduced in the 70s. And like here in the past few years, it's unreal. Like, so if you're in Potomac Creek and you come out of Potomac Creek and you look straight across, there are some commercial fishermen boys over there, grinders. And there was a time earlier this year, the Hall seine net, the big round net, and one netting, one time, 65,000 pounds of blue cat. And they could probably do a dude, the river is.
It's the only place I've ever been where you can go winding a chatterbait around on any flat.
Yeah.
And if you get on the wrong one, and I'll remember straighter back in 2015, there's like a lot of cool riprap stretches on the river, cranking things. And I remember back in the day, old Bassmasters, whatever, watching guys crank. I'm like, dude, you go wind a square bill. And he goes, dude, all you catch is damn catfish. You can't. And I'm like, oh, whatever. He goes, I'll show you. And dude, you get on a rock stretch, within 5 casts, you catch a blue cat.
It's wild, man.
And like, they'll choke a square bill. They choke a chatterbait. They'll eat a cinco. Like, it's bizarre. Now, we catch them on the Tennessee. I've called them other places.
Sure.
Like, they're opportunistic.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. But dude, up there, like, you're constantly catching those.
I think because there's so many of them, they're fighting. Dude, but I can't say they're fighting for food because the river this year is just chock full of bait.
Yeah.
It is unreal how strong the Potomac River is. The ecosystem right now is just, dude, it's stellar.
Coming back. And you're proud of that, man.
Oh, dude, I love it. We good?
No, we're good.
You haven't? Yeah. I love the Potomac River, man. I love where I'm from, and I love traveling. But I'm always excited to go back home.
Why won't we have an MPFL on the damn Potomac River, buddy? Come on, we could pull some strings.
I'm down, yeah, I'm down. But see, all the national events, they go out of Smallwood, they go out of Maryland. I'm Virginia boy, and I don't have
That's really the only major.
Smallwood and Lisa Vania.
Virginia.
Directly across. It's funny, too. So when they have tournaments, the same, like on a Saturday morning, you've got boys that launch from Smallwood. They shoot straight across to fish those rocks in front of Lisa Vania. Then you have boys that'll leave Lisa Vania, shoot straight across and fish in front of Mattawoman.
Or you have guys that stay on that side of the river for events out of Smallwood and commute.
To the
launch, from Lisa Vania.
So a friend of mine, shout out Lenny Beard, man, a good friend. I've known Lenny a long time, and he is one of these sticks on the Potomac River. If anything goes on the Potomac River, Lenny Beard knows about it. And there was a tournament out of Smallwood. Him and Lenny fishes a lot. So he was riding with a younger cat, and I forget all the details, but it was foggy. And I don't think the sun was all the way up. And they were shooting across from Lisa Vania to Mattawoman. Well, at the point, on the right point of Mattawoman, I think there's a dock that comes out. Anyways, man, they lost tracking, and they ended up hitting it. Hitting it. If I'm not mistaken, old boy driving, it broke his femur. Ooh. He messed himself all up, and they were able to get back across and drive themselves to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
It was bad. It was really bad. But
it's honestly, I wonder if more stuff like that doesn't happen with people commuting in the dark.
Yeah.
Not putting in at the actual ramp just because, I mean, like you said, fog early in the morning, dark. It's not like we got a bunch of headlights or whatever for the most part. And that, and a lot of people choose.
And here's the thing about the river too, about where I'm at, and I don't know, like it's a lot of commercial fishermen on the river. So if you're trying to navigate when it's really foggy or it's low, you got crabbers that are out there at the crack of dawn, commercial fishermen that are going to be out there checking their nets, checking their pots. I don't know. And that's one thing about the river too, man. There's a lot of crab pots and fish pots, and a lot of stuff gets tore up by.
Oh, I know that.
And that's my dad's side of the family, the commercial anglers. So I'm like, every year I try to make a post. Hey, man, you guys come with there's a bunch of crab buoys or, gill nets, some gill nets around.
Oh, yeah. And they'll mess up a prop too. And you can mess up a gill net, vice versa, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
To the bass fisherman, you're like, these damn gill nets, but to the guy trying to gill net.
Yeah.
But commercially,
Potomac, I love the Potomac. I think it's going to come back, and I would love for NPFL to go there.
Well, damn,
What if they go there?
A guy.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's more than that.
No, it's so much more to scheduling. I've covered that in the last couple of weeks because people get frustrated with pro fishing schedules. I'm like, let's
go to Lake Anna. I don't know. You're not familiar with Lake Anna. That's one of our spots around the house. That Lake Anna is a nuclear.
It kicks them out, dude.
Well, they just put more F1s in there. Lake Anna used to be a tight spot, but here lately, man, like Lake Anna is really on the up. Dude, Lake Anna is probably in the next 5 years, it might be, I don't want to say the best fishery in Virginia, but it's the only
Is it big enough to have 100?
Yeah, for sure. The problem with it is that you have to have a tournament there before Memorial Day or after Labor Day. It's kind of like Lake Norman. It's a bunch of people on there, a bunch of people, pleasure boats and stuff like that. But
shout out ski boaters, pontooners.
There you go. Have a good time. But shout out Melly.
The older I get,
owning
that's a good time too.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I like to go ride around on a boat. I don't have one of those boats. Probably never.
I love riding a jet ski, but I hate when somebody's on a jet ski around me.
Yeah,
I want to put a 3/4 ounce rattle trap.
I don't want to see a video of you.
I've got stories. I fell off one time when I was big.
So you like Kenny Powers?
It was the worst day of my life. Dude, if you're a big dude, so maybe somebody can relate. If you're on a Sea-Doo and you fall off, it's done.
You're done.
So I fell off, right? I fell off, and I got this bulky life jacket on. I'm a ginormous human being at this time. It's 400 some pounds. I couldn't get back on the Sea-Doo, so I finally take my vest off. I take my vest off, and I fight, and I get back up on the Sea-Doo, and I'm so happy I got back on the Sea-Doo. Then I see the vest floating, and the keys attached to the vest. So I just got off and swam to shore. My buddy had to swim out and do it all himself. That's a good story.
Jeez. I think of you like with the mullet, like Kenny Powers, just out there riding.
I wish. No. I fell off and couldn't get back on, and Sea-Doos can suck it.
Now you just cost me another sponsor. I didn't tell you Sea-Doo was going to sponsor me next year. We're going to do one of the low budget life.
No, so Sea-Doo got with that company, Suck It, that whatchamacallit made on The Office. Oh, that would have been good if I remembered his name. Do you understand what reference I'm trying to give right now? Suck It. Yeah. The toy vacuum that the old boss made. He sat in the jacuzzi telling Michael Scott, and it was all awkward. He's like, yeah, man, just suck it. He's like, what? Oh, man, the vacuum. It's going to be a toy vacuum. All right, anyways. You got me on here too long, dude. I'm just going to start talking. This is why my girlfriend thinks about breaking up with me, because I would just start rambling, complete nonsense.
Oh, that's not the only reason, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's only not the only reason.
Sure. Fat Cat Newton, You're a damn national treasure, buddy.
Appreciate
I
you,
appreciate all the honesty. I appreciate you spending some time with me and my family down here and letting me share my neck of the woods with you for a couple days.
Dude,
and the bar and grill, man. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, dude, I'm proud of what you've done for yourself, man. This is you got a nice place, beautiful family, and it's I appreciate you welcoming or whatever it's called.
You and I are both proof that idiots can do things in life if they get a little lucky. You know?
And you
gotta be dumb. Gonna be dumb. You gotta be tough.
Dude, I feel like I'm just getting started, man.
For sure, dude.
I'm trying to get a bag.
I'm
trying to get that bag. I'm trying to. And like we talk, Oliver Anthony's motive, it can happen to anybody. We even talk about Theo Vaughn, how that dude grinded 10, 12, 14. I'm not comparing myself to that.
Yeah, but
Whiskey Myers. But I'm just saying what I'm getting is the overnight Paul Benson, one of my close friends. He is
shout out to Paul.
Yeah, he's a character. He is Ron Swanson's doppelganger. But, a long time ago, we first met each other, 2014. He hit me up, and he was the one that brought me on with Cashin that I'm no longer with. He told me, talking about building relationships in the business and just in general, about weeds. He's like, what grows fast? Weeds grow fast. He's like, oak trees grow slow. And it's a weird kind of a metaphor.
Be an oak.
Yeah, man, be an oak tree.
And
I've always looked at what I do that way as if I treat everybody how I want to be treated and I don't act thirsty and just go with the flow and build this foundation brick by brick instead of trying to rush it, I feel good about my future.
You're going to be all right.
I feel good about my future. As long as here's the deal, man. Every morning I wake up's a bonus, and I just know if I can go to bed every night knowing that I was nice to everyone that was nice to me, I'm good.
Amen.
So appreciate all you guys listening to me ramble on.
40-year-old me and 45-year-old you, we just getting started in this.
I believe it.
And I say
here's the deal. This is morbid, but as long as I don't die first. That's my main thing. My dad died at 47. I'm trying to make it to 48. It's a weird thing that lingers over me, dude. I
get it.
I think about getting cancer again. I think about gaining my weight again and making it a 48. If none of those three things happen,
you're going to be all right.
Hey, dude, we good to go, baby.
We're going to be all right. We're going to take everybody out with some Biloxi Blues. And when I say we're just getting started in this, I don't even know what this is.
I have no idea.
But I promise
I'm just saying things I think sound cool.
These two guys aren't going away. Watch National Professional Fishing League.
Please.
We're going to be live. We're going to be in the studio. Professional fishing has ended for the most part. We got some live action for you coming up next Friday and actually be this Friday as you listen to this. Friday, Saturday, tnpfl.com. You can watch. We got a weigh-in show we do after weighing in with Luke and Fat Cat that we do on the Fix TV app, PHYX TV app. You do have to pay to watch our stupidity there. Everything else is free. Don't comment on Facebook that TNPFL charges you to watch live coverage and anything else. Dude, they don't.
They try their hardest to make everything work.
That's right. That's right. We're just trying some different things this year, but we will be live in the studio in Appleton, Wisconsin. We will not be on site in Eufaula other than Fat Cat for a few days. We got 2 more events to go. Tide Angler of the Year race. A lot of great anglers duking it out.
Oh, dude.
Entertaining anglers.
I wish we would have talked more about that next time.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have to do it at the end of the season. We got to do. I'll come back down. We'll do a follow-up.
It'll be fun, man. We'll definitely do it. But
there's some dynamite going on, dude. The Progressive AOY race, like it's about to get crazy, especially with. And you talking about Eufaula, Oklahoma. Everybody's talking about being a grind, but getting close to the event, I think it's not going to be as big of a grind as what guys were talking about. Like I think
good lake.
Yeah, this is a good lake. It's got a good fish in it. We've seen it earlier this year. I think it's going to be a great tournament, especially this time of the year. It's
especially, but I don't mind a grinder and a tough one, especially with Angler of the Year. Tighten it up.
Yeah, man.
See who's going to bring it, and we've got a lot of guys: Todd Goad, Timmy Reams, like dudes,
Sheldon Collins, Brandon
Oklahoma boy, like mixing it up.
Then you got guys fighting to make that championship. John Cox and Keith Carson, they're 27th and 26th.
The one and not the Florida John Cox. The one and not only John Cox.
Correct.
Patrick Walters trying to make the championship, only fishing 5 of 6 events.
Top 25 make that $100,000 championship. Each event we do this year pays $100,000. Full field fishes all 3 days of the event. Like
things are happening.
Yeah, man. I love me some NPFL, dude. Like
and I'll say this. I'll tease next year with this just real quick.
Uh-oh.
We got some damn names dipping their toe into the water right now to see what the temperature is in that swimming pool. And if they jump in, 2024 going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, dude. And I'm proud of the names that we've brought to light.
No doubt.
I know what you're saying, and I'm not trying. But it's one thing. I'm proud of those. It's a cool thing to be a part of.
We've got guys that have been with us for 3 solid years.
Yeah, dude. Starting what has happened, what the organization and starting something new in this whole world. And like finally, like I feel like, okay, if we can keep this train on the tracks.
Yeah. Keep it between the ditches.
That's right. Keep it between the ditches. Holy cow. Like I don't know, man. Like I feel fortunate to be a part of it, and like NPFL in a weird way really helped me with my life.
For sure.
Like it's
same here, man.
May have saved it. Like it's a weird thing, dude. Like it's given me a different outlook on things. And we talked about we're done, but being that character that we talked about.
Yeah.
NPFL has given me a chance to be somebody else.
Step out and show what Fat Cat Newton, what B is all about, man, on camera and off camera. And
even if it doesn't work out,
man.
I'm still, but they give me the opportunity.
Like,
so
no matter whatever happens with it, I'll always be, not to just be completely sappy, but to be forever grateful for like mine and your time that we've got to spend together, dude. We've spent a lot of hours together, like on camera, off camera, like figuring out life together and like this industry of fishing together, and it's brought you and I definitely closer together, man. And all the people we get to work with at NPFL are forever grateful. And I think if you ever watch the show and you go, oh, you're just promoting that because you're a company, man, dude, I believe in what they've got.
Yeah,
and I believe in the people.
I don't have to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't either.
I damn sure don't. Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty going on.
They definitely take care of us, but it's not a situation.
Yeah, it's not like a desperate.
No, it's a family, man. Where we are,
I believe in it, and I love what you and I get to do.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I love it. I love getting to run my mouth about.
I've always heard this thing. Well, it's not, if it doesn't feel like working, the whole thing about
it's not
something doesn't feel like, and that's how like this is it.
Even though, and you and I are basically Wisconsin residents.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
No, I love it. I love some Appleton, man. But we'll see y'all on live Friday and Saturday, man. Please tune in. Check them out, tmpfl.com. These anglers deserve it.
That's right.
Way more than we do. So check out the anglers. Check out the league. We'll take you out some Biloxi Blues. Thanks for hanging in here, man. If you have hung in here for 2 hours with me and the big
2 hours.
2 hours. Dude, I love these. This is why I love in person, because they can go for 4 or 5 hours. Like, it's fine. If that ever happens, then so be it. I may run out of SD cards.
I got some more notes. No.
Bring it up.
I'm good.
But I appreciate you, dude, coming. I appreciate hanging in the bar and grill with me, but I appreciate every single one of you low-lifers each and every week. I know I say that. It sounds cliche. I promise you I mean it. Getting to do this, getting to showcase friends of mine in this industry, getting to meet cool folks and interview people that I don't know. It's all very special, and I get to do it because of you low-lifers. So thank you so very much for that, and we'll take you out with some Biloxi Blues. We're going to get Fat Cat on his road to Oklahoma, and I will see y'all
on the other side
next week.
I say
that on here. I say
whatever.
I say that on NPFL. See you.
Any direction, Lord, I'll be fine. It don't matter east or west, north, south, wherever the wind blows. I'm leaving those burdens at rest. This highway, it does not know my name, and I don't care. No, I don't care. Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get there.